everybody, and welcome to the Rio Rancho Event Center and the brand new One Albuquerque Field here at the Event Center. I'm Sebastian Noel alongside La Cueva head coach Brandon Back, and it's time for the Duke City Gladiators to host the #1 team in the league, the Arizona Rattlers. A lot going on, though, this week in the Duke City. The team released their all-time leading receiver, Dello Davis, and of course Nate Davis is still hurt. When you're missing a guy like Dello Davis, one man's not going to be able to replace Dello Davis. It can't be next man up. It has to be every man up.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where his prolific field play and not only just his ability on the field, but his presence on the field is just so hard to replace, especially in 1 week. They're going to have to lean on the variety of different individuals to get that job done, and it's going to be a tall task for whoever steps out there. He's a guy who could get open. He knew how to get open. He had great chemistry with his quarterbacks, and that's very hard to replace, and that takes some time to do, and he's going to be sorely missed tonight.
Of course, the other receivers, Greg Dent and Jared Elmore, obviously they're used to this, right? So they know they have to step their game up. But it might be time for Daryl Stoneham to finally break out. He's active. He's out of the broadcast booth. He'll be on the field tonight. So Daryl might have to be the guy that steps up as that other receiver. Let's go on the other side of the field. That's where you'll find the league's defending most valuable player, Drew Powell, at quarterback. He led the league in rushing last season. He won the rushing triple crown, and their defense has pitched 2 shutouts in the second half. One of them was against the Gladiators, and then last week against San Diego. This Rattlers team, they might be better looking and scarier looking than last season. It's a tall test today.
Well, and they're the measuring stick for anybody who wants to see kind of where their franchise is, where their program is. They're the guys, that's the program you want to see and you want to measure yourself up against. And obviously they've got players in a variety of different areas. They've got the league's most valuable player. So it's going to be a tall task for the Gladiators to get it done here in this beautiful field that they have out for the first time. But, football's football. When the whistle blows, it's going to be your guys against our guys, and we're going to have to step up and make sure we're doing our responsibility the correct way. And it's just going to be a big night for the Gladiators, but it's going to be, on offense, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. I think they're going to have to run the ball a little bit more, and like you said, Daryl's going to have a bigger role in their success tonight.
We're glad to have you tuned in on the IFL's YouTube channel as well as statewide television tonight here in Albuquerque. So we'll get a quick timeout in, and then it's kickoff here from the Event Center. The Rattlers and the Gladiators are going to kick it next.
Jack and Jill went up a hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and spilled his crown, and Jill tripped over him after. They got in their car. We don't live far, but boy, they should have known. If you drink, don't get behind the wheel.
All right, there you take a look at the Rattlers as their outstanding kicker, Ernesto Lacayo, gets set to get us underway here for the Rattlers. Of course, we mentioned they're the #1 team in the league. There's Vincent Gregory back to receive for Duke City tonight. So the Gladiators will have the football first. Lacayo in their first meeting. Boy, I mean, and he doesn't look like a kicker. Look at the guns on Lacayo there.
He's not built like your normal kicker. He's definitely got some athletic ability there. And I'm sure he wants to hit somebody just as much as anybody else does out there.
And you don't expect it here on the kickoff, but last meeting between these two teams, he is very good at just rifling one off the front man, and then, of course, the guys behind him recovering that onside kick. That's something they did successfully against the Gladiators in their first meeting. That's something special teams will have to look out for here today.
Well, like we talked about earlier at the beginning, the Rattlers are kind of who you measure yourself up against, and when you're talking about a team like the Rattlers, they're going to be able to do things right on all three facets of the ball, and so special teams will definitely play a role. When they need points, they know they can do something funky because they have a guy with a special leg. So it's going to be a big order tonight for the Gladiators, but it's exciting to watch them out here on this new turf field and see what we can accomplish with these with the new core receivers, or not really a new core, but just guys who are going to have to step up in bigger roles.
Rattlers looking to start the season 3-0 atop the Western Conference. One game in the books already was Frisco defeating Tucson. That was last night in IFL action. The Fighters looked very good. Lacayo set to kick off, and it's a deep ball. Gregory will have it inside the end zone is where he'll start that return. He's wrapped up just inside the 10-yard line, and that is where the Gladiators will get started. And Brandon, if you've watched the Rattlers in the past, they had a local kid by the name of, well, he's not a kid anymore. I guess he's a man. Nick Diavanzo, former Lobo. He got the call from Canada before the season, so he's up in the CFL. So they're without him now. But, of course, we want to congratulate Nick because he might be watching tonight.
Yeah. It was he had a great showing down here with the Gladiators, and he was fun to watch as somebody who some of the fans knew from his college days. But, you know, tonight that's the one thing I think that the Gladiators are going to have to establish early is a little bit more of a run game. Try to control the clock a little bit more because when you're playing a powerhouse like that, you want to be able to hold on to the ball as long as possible and not give their prolific offense such longer spurts of time there.
Caleb Holbrook's the starting quarterback. Devontae Jackson's that running back behind him. Holbrook on the quarterback keep, going to run it himself. Boy, they had the element of surprise on that. I would have never guessed that on the first play.
That's not something you see often from the Gladiators, no matter who seems to be back there lately. But it's a great way to get the Rattlers on their heels and to kind of back them up a little bit and to try to get your offense to settle in just a little bit more as we try to find new weapons and guys open down the field. But, you know, guys like Dent are going to have a big night. We had talked about that, and Darryl as well.
No Trevon Hill, the big fella, 2 personal fouls last week for the Rattlers, so he's not out there, but they still got plenty of weapons, especially Devontae Merriweather and Brandon Azell. They're so good on this side of the football. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 4, 2 in motion. Holbrook on the quick dump off to Dent, and it's through his hands. He can't make the catch. Winfrey was on the coverage there. If and when they do go to the run today, Devontae Jackson is the new face back there for the Gladiators. He's a West Georgia man. He spent time in camp with the Broncos. As a matter of fact, when Lindsey went down with an injury that year for Denver, there was a lot of people in Denver saying that, hey, this kid's going to make the team. And I think a lot of surprises when he didn't. Well, we're glad to have him here.
Yeah, he's got some shiftiness to him. You know, he's a smaller running back like you see at that league, and he's that guy who can get behind those big offensive linemen and find a crease. So it's going to be exciting to watch him try to work tonight.
3rd and 4. Elmore and Dent are in motion. Holbrook bobbled the snap. He's going to have enough for the first down, and he is hammered at the end of that play by Kyrie Woods. But Holbrook will pick up the first down on the ground.
Well, that was a great opportunity for them to pick up the first down. You'll see it here on the replay, but it started off with a bobble, and it just left him with no other options just to tuck the ball and run. But obviously Holbrook's not a running quarterback, but when in this first drive, he's picked up 2 big plays and a first down here. But, you know, last week with those five fumbles, he's going to have to hold on to the ball and make sure he can get the ball where it needs to be. And on the turf is not it.
Caleb had 4 of the team's 5 interceptions, as you referred to. That's tipped up in the air, and Woods almost came down with the interception. It was thrown towards Stoneham. A lot of contact there as well.
Well, that's a great job by Stoneham there. Ball's tipped up in the air, becomes a free-for-all there, and Stoneham had to flip sides to the defensive side of the ball to make sure it wasn't an interception, and he did a great job of making sure that defender couldn't come down with the football. But, you know, these are the timing routes that the Gladiators have always kind of hung their hat on, and right now we're having a little bit of trouble getting the ball out of his hands and on time to the receivers. But, you know, it's a long game, but this is a one heck of a defense here, and they've got speed in a variety of different areas. So they're going to have to move the ball quickly and make sure we're completing those easy short routes.
And Brandon, I beg your pardon, Hill is out there on the defensive front for the Rattlers. So the Rattlers must have worked some magic this week to get him eligible, as that's a great catch across the way by Greg Dent Jr. as he's finally wrestled down. Should be enough for the first down.
That's an awesome catch if we get a chance to see it here on replay. You'll see him go down here, and it is low and away from the defender where it needs to be. He did a great job of getting it underneath, both hands underneath, and then popping back up, getting a couple extra yards, fighting down there. So that's the kind of mentality you want to see from this team when you've got some new players out there. But we're keeping the chains moving. We're moving in the right direction. That's a big deal for the Gladiators tonight.
Yeah, new set of downs here for Caleb Holbrook. Maybe the rust was knocked off last week. He did throw some touchdowns in that second half. So,
well, he's clearly got some ability and he's got some talent, but it's just settling in and making your plays, making the things that work for you. But
first handoff to Jackson is blown up in the backfield by Trayvon Williams.
Well, I tell you what, man, Williams stepped up in the hole. He saw a run all day long, and you'll see it here on the replay. He steps up and fills this gap immediately. You got a pulling guard from the backside, but that didn't fake him out one bit. Williams downhill. If you're a defensive player, you're a young kid watching a defensive player, that's the type of tackles you want to make. Downhill, head up, and just an awesome, powerful hit.
Williams and that defense, I mean, they just gave San Diego fits in their last game.
Well, I tell you what, you got guys like number 93, Javier Edwards, Javier Edwards. He's just a big force to be reckoned with in there. And you'll see sometimes on what they'll do is they'll actually drop him back into a slant to try to help the crossing routes and the slant routes.
Out on the
he's
field.
such a big person. And get his big hands up there, and he does a great job of that.
Gladiators will take the timeout. We'll step aside and take it with them. Gladiators driving here on their first possession.
Lily and Liam is a laid-back scratch kitchen cooking up all-day breakfast, sandwiches, salads, and delicious baked goods. At Nexus Brewery and Smokehouse, we serve up craft beers paired with delicious soul food. Come and see us at 1511 Broadway Boulevard Southeast. Paletta Bar Tramway, serving up customizable treats to Albuquerque. Come and see us at 12501 Candelaria Road Northeast and try something delicious.
When you quit smoking, your immune system is no longer exposed to tar and nicotine, so it'll become stronger and you'll be less likely to get sick. Are you ready to quit? Call 1-800-QUIT now for free coaching, patches, gum, or lozenges.
Dr. David Sockerman, orthopedic surgery specialist and proud partner of your Duke City Gladiators.
All right, we're back here at the Event Center in Rio Rancho. Gladiators take the time out here as they're driving on offense. You take a look at some of the young fans in attendance here. If you haven't been out to a game, I mean, the product on the field in the IFL is entertainment to the max. If you haven't been to an indoor game, I tell everybody, you go to one, I guarantee you'll be back to another.
There's no doubt. There's just the speed of the game. These guys are so big, so athletic, so fast. It's a fun, fast-moving game. It's quick. There's just a lot of entertainment value between it. And then there's just some big hits, just like we saw on that run play.
On 2nd and 11, Dent, it's incomplete. He had it in his hands, and it was stripped, but it was ruled an incomplete pass for Greg Dent Jr., the Florida State man. He knows he should have had that one. He's pointing to himself right now. Take us through the replay, Coach.
Well, you see it here on the replay. This is actually a play they ran a little bit earlier, and they missed it. That's the run play on the replay there. But on that replay there, they set it up earlier. They're trying to get the second man through the zone there on a quick slant. The first guy clearing out the area, and they missed it the first time. This time he hit him, but Darryl wasn't able to, not Darryl, but Dent wasn't able to hold on to the ball here. But that was just that was a well-designed play. They just got to find ways to execute those things to keep the chains moving.
All right, so that'll bring up the third down here. Holbrook has some time. It's again dropped at the wall. This time it's Dent. Good coverage over there by Brandon Azell, but Dent has a couple thrown his way that he usually catches.
Well, and what the Gladiators are doing are giving Holbrook time, and that's just been an awesome opportunity for him as a new quarterback to step in there and not have a guy in his face and be able to hit that. That was a great timing route. The coverage was great, the coverage was tight, but he put the ball where it needed to be. But the receivers are going to have to help him out tonight, making sure that they're securing that catch and moving the chains.
The Gladiators will bring on Cody Barber to go for the points here and kick it. Holbrook is the holder here. The Rattlers did block a field goal attempt last week against San Diego. Barber's kick is up, and it takes a left turn. It's no good. So the first drive stalls on a missed field goal, and we're scoreless here in the Duke City.
At Spring Rollin', we believe that you should have your spring rolls your way. Come and see us for the most delicious spring rolls in Albuquerque, New Mexico. At Upscale Burger, located inside of Cottonwood Mall, we serve fresh, made-from-scratch burgers, shakes, fries, potato wedges, salads, and desserts.
All right, we're back here. As Drew Powell, the league's most valuable player last season, will take over, and he is a load. So he's across the 15-yard line on the carry. Who won the rushing Triple Crown last year. He led the league with 1,105 on the ground, 65 a game, and of course he had 43 rushing touchdowns.
Well,
his 1,100 yards, Brandon, that was a career high, of course, a franchise high, and a league record.
Well, you know, as a coach, we always talk about how dangerous a running quarterback can be and how hard it is to game plan for a running quarterback. But when you get a small team like an indoor team, it makes it even more difficult because he truly is the best running back there, and that really is going to put a lot of pressure on the defense. You'll see the safeties have to make a lot of tackles like they did on that first play.
He doesn't have very good receivers, but there he's going to keep it again, and he's upended by Dexter Reese.
That was a great little wrinkle blitz there. They blitzed Serta there from the back. He did a great job of pressuring him and trying to get him to move the ball quickly. Serta missed the tackle there, right there. He got him out, but it ran right into another Gladiator for an easy tackle. But
and you don't think Dexter Reese is excited to lay the wood here? He's a former Arizona Rattler. That's where he started his indoor career.
Yeah, he knows this team well. He knows what it's like over there on that side of the ball, and he knows the power and the athleticism on that side of the ball. But you know, exotic blitzes and keeping the offense kind of guessing where you're getting pressure from, that's going to be a big key for the Gladiators tonight. And Serta's going to have to make big plays as your captain and your leader on this side of the ball.
Powell back to pass. Here comes Serta, but he's able to get it off to Houston for the completion. And Cooper came over and slammed him into the wall. It's enough for Rattlers first down. Serta almost got home on that play, but a great job by Powell to get rid of it.
Well, when you talk about just a guy with that field presence, that's what Powell has. And he had Serta, who is obviously one of the better defenders in this league. He's played at a high level for a very long time, in his face, and he's able to find his hot route or find his check down route and get the ball where it needs to be. And again, that's why he's special. That's why he's wearing the crown here as the most valuable player.
Miles and Haley are the receivers in motion. Powell looking to pass. It's complete up the middle to Braxton Haley. He's upended by Vines on the tackle. Powell was almost perfect last week as you take us through this replay, Coach.
Well, you see it here on the replay. This is just a little crossing route from one side of the field to the other, and they're just trying to clear the linebackers. He does a great job of sitting in the hole, catching the ball. But you know what the Gladiators are doing? They're making tackles, which is good. You know, they're wrapping guys up. They're not letting a big pass turn into a big run afterwards, and that's a big factor for staying successful tonight.
Powell was 10 for 11 for 142 yards, 3 touchdowns before he gave way to Demery Croft in their blowout win. That one's incomplete, as it was intended for Calvin Phillips, who had a really fine game himself last week. Phillips, as a matter of fact, rushed for 55 yards, and then he had a completion as well. But they have two really good quarterbacks on this roster, with the starter Powell and then, of course, Demery Croft, who came over from Tucson.
Well, that was a great little play of using the motion guy to sneak him through the line of scrimmage and set up to where the linebackers used to be there on the snap of the ball, and it's just a little bit high, a little bit too hot for Phillips to hold on to. But, you know, these guys, just their ability to move the ball and to get it where it needs to be, and then obviously having Powell there, who can be the best running back, is big.
Play clock down to 3 seconds here as Powell has them ready. It's down to 1, and Coach Kevin Guy is going to have to take a timeout here as they could not get on the same page there. So the Rattlers will take timeout here as they're driving. We'll be right back.
The Duke City
We're back to the event center here after Kevin Guy's timeout here. Only 3:58 remaining here in this opening quarter. The Gladiators, kiss cam up on the screen right now. Gladiators can limit the game to these amount of possessions. I think that would be tremendous.
That's a big win for the Gladiators when you're talking about keeping a powerful offense from getting those plus yards after contact and yards after catch, things like that. They've done a great job of making open field tackles, and that's what they're going to have to do in order to keep their kind of young offense in the game here tonight.
All right, now Powell's ready here on third down. It's third and short. This has to be a keep, doesn't it? Powell does keep it himself. He's got the first down. You know it's coming, but you still can't stop it, Coach. Well, that's how good Drew Powell is.
He's just different. That's the bottom line. He not only is he somebody who can throw the ball where he needs it to be, but his ability to run. And you look at his stature, he's just such a thick, athletic quarterback, and just he wants to run the ball. And I'm sure his coach is telling him a lot of times, hand that sucker off every once in a while.
They have him listed at 6'3", 220 out of Livingston College.
He is every single pound of 220 and we're talking about muscle there, because he's just a force to be reckoned with running the ball.
This is his third season in Arizona, so he'll have the veteran designation soon. That's a handoff up the middle, and it's a short gain. Gets to about the 5-yard line, where he's tackled by by Cooper on the tackle. I beg your pardon.
Cooper and Serta there, both inside of there. But that's a great job by the defensive line to make sure that didn't pop into a bigger situation or to prevent that from getting to the linebackers. But the defensive line, that's something that we don't talk about a lot, but these guys are going to have a big night. If they can't get to the quarterback, they're going to have to get their hands up in the passing lane in those short timing routes, and it's going to be something they're going to need to get better at as the year goes on.
Cooper, bright spot last week defensively. Powell back to pass, still looking. Now he sees a man. It's caught for a touchdown in the end zone by Isaiah Houston. The Rattlers are on the board first. Beautiful pass from Drew Powell to Houston.
Well, he was looking Houston down the whole time, and Houston ran looked like a second move route there to break himself open into the corner of the end zone. But again, you talk about Powell having all the time needed to make the throw. Those are things that the Gladiators are going to have to do. They're either through blitzes or twists, something to get some pressure on Powell, because if we allow him to sit back there and pick us apart, that's exactly what's going to happen.
The locals back home are obviously excited about that, as Houston's a local man from Anthem, went to Arizona Christian. Here's Lacayo on for the extra point. Good snap and hold, and Lacayo's kick is wide right. Wow. So the Gladiators will have to settle by being down 6-0 early here against the Rattlers, 148. So let's take a look at this one more time here. It's a strike right there for Drew Powell.
Gladiators are brought to you in part by these proud partners: IBEW, Local Union 611, and New Mexico Chapter, NECA, UA, Local 412, the Carpenters Union, the Ramada, Dark Horse Investments, Roadrunner Realty, Prestige Media Group, Westway Homes, the Santa Fe Police Department, Roadrunner Beauty and Spa, Spring Rollin', McDonald's, Upscale Burgers, and Lily Liam Bistro. The Duke City Gladiators are brought to you in part by these proud partners.
Are you looking for a career with great benefits and wages? Your Carpenters Local Union 1319 is looking for tradesmen of all different skill levels and experience. Carpenters Local Union 1319, proud partners of your Duke City Gladiators.
All right, Lacayo set to kick off here. It's a deep one, back to Gregory. Brings it out of the middle of the end zone. Makes one miss, two miss. Finally wrapped up at the 15-yard line. Now that's where Brandon Azell was able to wrap him up, but a good return from Gregory. The drive will start at the 15.
That was a great return by Gregory. He set up that defender, got him to go left, and he went right and did a great opportunity of moving the ball up a little bit better and giving his offense a little bit more grass to work with as we get close to the end of this first quarter here.
Pretty clean-looking new turf here at the event center, One Albuquerque field. What do you think, Brandon?
It's pretty nice. I walked on it before the game, and it's got a little give to it. I'm sure that's nice when you're talking about guys flying around at 220 pounds, but It's nice to see the logo. It's nice to see Albuquerque 1 represented in that situation. It's a beautiful field.
They're going to hand off to Jackson, cuts back up the middle. Big run for Jackson as he's across midfield for the first down into Rattlers territory, where he's finally brought down by Trayvon Williams.
Well, that's the type, when you talk about running backs, it's there. You'll see it here on the replay. He's full out sprint to the right here, and his ability to cut and get back to vertical, that's what really makes him special. And he was able to cut there, and again, Williams is the one who brings him down and finds him for the tackle, but that's a great run. And those are the kind of things that this offense is going to need to lean heavily on as they continue to try to move the ball into the end zone.
And I think that's something that Coach Carter and company probably saw on film last week. San Diego tried to run it out to the edges, and Arizona wasn't having that. So they're trying to keep their run up the middle here. Holbrook on the carry. Holbrook made a couple of guys miss. He made Woods miss, and he's finally brought down shy of the 15-yard line. He'll bring up a second and short.
I tell you what,
they
man,
saw something on film that they could do some damage up the middle.
There's definitely something that they've seen on film, but I tell you what, that play is 100% on Jackson, and you'll see here on the replay, just barely missed the end of it there, but he puts a wallop on number 23, Williams, the linebacker, to give Holbrook an opportunity for a big play.
That is the end of the first quarter. Timeout on the field.
So that'll do it for the first quarter. Really only those 2 possessions in the first quarter, and they were able to hold the Rattlers to just 6. The Gladiators are driving when we start the second.
For over 35 years, we have represented the families of those who no longer have a voice and the tragically injured who need to be heard. At the law firm of David C. Chavez, we are the voice and would be honored to represent you. We undertake some of the most challenging cases against multi-billion-dollar companies, which result in a fair resolution for our client. We have the experience and the resources to commit to your case.
Call the law firm of David C. Chavez, a recognized injury attorney, top 10, top 100, and super lawyer. 505-865-9696.
At Fogo de Chão, it all starts with fire. And then, out of the kitchen comes something that moves your mouth to tears of joy. And then, you discover what a masterpiece tastes like, filling you with childlike wonder. And then, your taste buds come of age on a 21-day aged ribeye. And then, just as you think it can't get any better, something on a salt block rocks your world. Welcome to What's Next.
All right, we're back here at the event center. Sebastian Noel, Brandon back alongside. Gladiators driving here as they'll flip the field. It's second down and short after a couple of runs. Up the middle of this defense is where you can maybe do some damage because they're so fast to the edges.
Well, these are what, those cutback lanes is going to be big. The other thing that could be big for the Gladiators, I'm not sure obviously what their practice plans are to look like, but if Holbrook can pull the ball off of a zone read or something like that, it's going to give him the opportunity to make a big play, but obviously that one didn't work there for the Gladiators.
They tried to give it to Stoneham up the middle, and he was met there. No gain on the play for Darrell.
We talked about it on the break. The speed of Arizona on the edges is just second to none, and so if they are going to have success, it's going to have to be with stretching them out left and right and then making foot in the ground cuts and getting vertical as fast as you can, and they just weren't able to do that there as that trailing linebacker was able to make a big tackle there. But this is really where you're missing Delo Davis right here, because he's the guy and that short out timing route we've seen year after year after year to make big plays. So one of our receivers are going to have to step up big tonight and kind of fill that role.
It's third down and 3. Holbrook going to keep it, and plenty of space for Holbrook as he's finally tackled inside the 5-yard line by Kyrie Woods. Great play design there.
And that's the pull I was talking about there. Getting the eyes of the defense going left or right and then pulling it and keeping it for a big play. And Holbrook's had a really big night on his feet tonight, and that's what they're going to have to do to be successful. And he did a great job of getting them in the red zone and an opportunity to score here.
Holbrook again going to try to keep it, and there's a flag on the play. Caleb, he came in last week, obviously a couple of years off, and he looks in tremendous shape. Actually, I talked to him before the game last week, and so he's obviously stayed in great shape during his 2 years away.
Illegal snap, number 60 offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, illegal snap there on the center, Zach Fondal out of Kansas. We'll back the Gladiators up 5 yards here.
And those are the things that just drive coaches nuts, because you can't put yourself in a hole with a mental mistake like that. That's gonna put your team behind the chains further and take away opportunities to score. But they're going to have to go probably back to the air here, and so you'll see some timing routes on the wide side of the field to our left, to the offense's left here. See if they can get a slant route or an out-breaking route early, but they're going to get it in the end zone, tie this thing up, or maybe go up by 1 here with 13 minutes left in the second quarter.
You can tell it's definitely been a concentrated effort to use all of the play clock in this one. So still first and goal. Elmore's in motion, as is Stoneham. Holbrook looking, sees a man, and it's caught. It's a touchdown for the mayor, Jared Elmore.
That's a big play there. That's a great play for Holbrook and a great play, obviously, for Elmore. Those out-breaking timing routes are very hard for defenders to do, and really all the credit goes to that offensive line for giving Holbrook the time needed to make that big play and to give the Gladiators an opportunity to go up here by 1 early in the second quarter.
So let's see if Barber can connect. He missed the field goal earlier on the Gladiators' first offensive drive. Here he is on for the extra point. Holbrook again is the holder. It's a low snap. He gets it down, and the kick is up and right off the attorney. So the Gladiators go in front as the extra point is good. So we take one more look from another angle. Holbrook to Jared Elmore, 7-6, Duke City.
The Duke City Gladiators are brought to you in part by these proud partners. The Paletta Bar, Tramway, Sit Means Sit, Dog Training, Fogo de Chao, Brazilian Steakhouse, Roadrunner, Ready Mix, and JPR Gravel. Bubba's 33, Sadie's of New Mexico, Garcia's Kitchen, Nexus Brewery, Guild Mortgage, Roadrunner Realty and Investments, Dickey's Barbecue, and Fidelity Title. The Duke City Gladiators are brought to you in part by these proud partners.
Gladiators time of possession 11 minutes and 3 seconds. They've had the football in this first half. I think that's really been a key, and they take the lead here as Barber gets set to kick off.
Yes, time of possession is going to be something that I'm sure the coaching staff talked a lot about in their meetings all week.
They'll go squib on a hop, some trouble. Finally, Miles is able to pick it up, but now Miles sees a lot of space. Great block out in front. Miles across midfield, and the drive will start in Gladiator territory. They got a great kick out of Barber, just couldn't really cover it down the field. Let's take one more look at this maybe.
Well, and you'll see here on the replay, sometimes these squibs work out for the kicking team, sometimes they work out for the return team because it allows the blocking to set up a little bit better, and they get guys out of their lanes, and that's exactly what happened. You get one missed tackle, everybody's down, and then there's nobody back in the safety area, and that's exactly what happened here as they put the defense in a little bit of a hole here at midfield.
$11:55 and counting to go here. Receivers in motion on both sides. Powell looking. Still looking, he's flushed out, he gets rid of it. Wide open up the middle is Todd Athey. He's finally lit up by Brown at the 10-yard line, but a great catch by Athey. And again, Powell kept that play alive in the pocket, Coach.
It's that's again, you're talking about a guy with experience, and you're talking about a guy who's been here before. The field being so much shorter and guys moving around gives him the opportunity to kind of stretch that play out. He knew who he wanted to get to. Athey did a great job of making a late cut there, deep behind the linebacker, but man, it's the time that he has is going to be crucial. We got to find a way to shorten that up, whether with a blitz from Serta or somebody else.
Powell fakes the toss, he'll throw it instead, and it's in for a Rattlers touchdown. Jamal Miles on the catch.
Well, that was quick. That was a quick return. That's a great counterpunch by the Rattlers, and the Gladiators knew that they're capable of that, obviously being the team that they are. And as they get ready for this extra point, the Gladiators are going to have to settle back in and let the offense take some more time off the clock, get it back in the end zone, give the defense time to recoup and try to find a way to get pressure on Powell.
Great start for Drew Powell here. Lacayo's on for the extra point. Haley is the holder, brings down a high snap, and Lacayo bangs it through as the Rattlers go back in front here on a touchdown pass from Drew Powell. We'll be right back to the event center. This is the Flex Cam presented by Crunch Fitness, a new addition this season here at the event center. So if you're so inclined, Coach, you know, if you want to roll up your sleeves.
I don't know why they're not showing us on the Flex Cam. I feel like we'd be top 3,000 or at least maybe.
Powell has started, by the way, 5 of 6, 2 touchdowns through the air for 48 yards.
I tell you what, the bright side here has been Holbrook. His ability to run is really what's kept the Gladiators moving the chains, and their biggest plays have come out of him running the ball, either with a designed run behind Jackson, the running back, or with him pulling it off of the motion. Those are big things that I didn't expect out of Holbrook. I'm not sure the Rattlers did either, but he's made plays tonight. That's what he's needed to do, but we really got to get the ball in the receiver's hands and make big plays to keep the chains moving.
4 attempts on the ground for 35 yards for Caleb Holbrook. So they've really committed to the run this week. And again, the run will keep the clock moving here and help out in that time of possession stat, which I know is so important this week for the Gladiators. All right, Lacayo, they should have put the kicker Lacayo on the flex cam.
No doubt.
I mean, you know, for kickers to wear short sleeves and no undershirt, I mean, Lacayo knows the guns he's got, right?
Yeah, with those guns, I think I'd be showing them off all day long as well.
Gregory at the 5. He's been good back there. Spins across the 20. He'll lunge across the 20. He's finally brought down by Dylan Winfrey, but Winfrey has had some trouble getting Gregory to the ground.
Gregory, he's a shifty kid back there. He's doing a great job on the special teams and the returns and holding on to the ball. He's made a couple guys miss there on those returns, and he's also just put his head and shoulders down and flat out run over guys. So that's been a bright spot here as they get ready to start this drive near midfield and give them the opportunity here with 10 minutes to go in the second period. Can they hold on to this ball long enough that keeps this game close as we get ready to go into halftime?
And Winfrey is usually very solid back there, but he's missed them a couple of times. And Gregory getting a chance to come in at receiver here as he'll replace Stoneham with the play clock at 7. Looks like some confusion here.
Timeout here.
Yep, the Gladiators will have to take timeout here. Play clock was expiring.
Duke
All
City
kinds
Gladiators.
of chaos in the offensive backfield there. We'll take a quick timeout with them. Come right back.
At the Vessel IV Bar, we're here to help you find your optimal state of wellness through on-demand IV drip hydration and micronutrition service.
Let's get to work. Let's get to work.
Roadrunner Realty and Investments is a proud partner of your Duke City Gladiators.
All right, we're back out of the Gladiators timeout here. Gregory's still out there. He's with Elmore. They still don't quite look like they have it all together. Now they're ready. Gregory, Elmore in motion. Fake the handoff. Holbrook going to keep it himself. He's across midfield, or right at midfield. I beg your pardon. That's where he's tackled by Kyrie Woods.
Well, that play was actually designed to go to Jackson, but they got a little bit of too much pressure too early, and it kind of messed up the second handoff. That's one of those longer developing plays where you got guys crossing from both sides. It takes a little bit of time to set those plays up, and if you get any type of pressure from the defense like you had from the Rattlers there, kind of messes it up. But Holbrook again did a great job pulling it down, getting some yards as we get to a 2nd and long.
4th tackle already for Woods. Ball's at midfield here on 2nd down and 9. 2 in motion on the right side of the formation. It's a high snap to Holbrook. Holbrook's got some time, and it's dropped up the middle. Dent with the drop again. Boy, Greg Dent really struggling out there.
It hasn't been his half, that's for sure. But, you know, the Gladiators have a lot of faith in him. He's a veteran player who's been out here before. He knows that. He knows what he needs to do. But that's been unfortunate to watch him drop the last 3 passes. But
again, with Elmo, or excuse me, as we look at the replay here, with Dello Davis being released this week, the wide receivers on the roster are Daryl Stoneham, Greg Dent Jr., Jared Elmore, and Vincent Gregory. Ryan Ballantyne is on the roster, former, everyone knows that name in the IFL, but he hasn't been active. Pressure coming to Holbrook, and he throws it away.
Well, the Rattlers sold out all out on that blitz. They got a lot of pressure in Holbrook's face. He didn't have very much time to set his feet and throw, and Elmore was close. He had a great breaking route there at the sticks if he would have been able to have a better ball in his vicinity, but just a little too wide, a little bit too much pressure there from the...
Yeah, you try to throw a good ball with 6'4", 255-pound Trevon Hall coming at you, or Hill coming at you.
Hill and Williams, you see those guys all over the place, and speed kills, and the Rattlers have speed on the defensive side of the ball just like they do on the offensive side of the ball, and that's just one of those things.
Great penetration there by the big fella Robert Landers as well. All right, 4th down here. They're going for it. 4th and 9, the ball at midfield. Dent, Elmore in motion, another high snap. Holbrook, that's incomplete. It was intended for Dent. He was in the area. But that is incomplete. Let's take another look here.
They rolled the dice here on this 4th down here, and Dent got caught up with 2 defenders there and trying to get back into the inside breaking route, and it just didn't have enough time. But those plays kind of define a half, and hopefully the defense can settle in here and prevent them from having a quick strike touchdown. We know that they're capable of putting points on the board quickly, and the Gladiators are going to have to find a way to make them earn it all the way down here with a little less than 7 minutes to go here in the 2nd half.
So Powell will go back to work. He's only missed his target 1 time today, and he's rushed for just 18 yards because he's really been able to attack it through the air today. 2 in motion. Powell will flip it up the middle of the carry. Got a nice run across the 20-yard line for Phillips.
Well, that little toss play out there to the outside edge, Serta saw it coming. He just wasn't able to get around to where he needed to be to make a tackle. But that's what you have with a balanced offense, and that's kind of the thing that right now the Gladiators are lacking is some balance in their offense. But when you talk about having guys like talent with Powell and the other running backs and receivers they have out there, it really puts a lot of pressure on defenses because you got to be sound in your leverage, you got to be sound in your gap.
The Rattlers are so good at that position that we don't hardly ever see Todd Athey on the field. All IFL rookie that came over from Northern Arizona. Haley and Houston are on the right. They were the 2 stationary receivers. Powell's got all day. Here comes a flag. Here comes the tackle right into the wall in front of us. Powell's brought down. There is a penalty marker on the field, but a good job by Robert Brown to get into the backfield there.
Yes, that's a great job of putting pressure and flushing Powell out to the offense's right here, and you'll see it here on the replay. They did a great job of twisting, getting guys to pressure, and I think they get a holding penalty here, but great open field tackling by the Gladiators to not let Powell run for a 1st down.
I'm reading lips. It might be an illegal twist.
Illegal blitz, number 28. Did not go through the A-gap. 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
So in the IFL, if this is the first time you've tuned in, you have to blitz through the A-gap, and Serta did not.
He just went a little too wide there,
So you're not basically there's some peculiar rules in the IFL. The defensive front has to stay within the outside shoulder of the offensive lineman. You're not allowed to twist back there, any kind of stunt blitzing either. So defensive coordinator Freddie Griggs, I think, was looking up to see if they want to challenge that or not, but I don't think we're going to see a challenge.
I didn't see him go through the A gap as well, but I can't remember. I did see a guy go to the offense's left, way outside wide to the offense's left, but I couldn't catch his number. But, you know, they've got to put pressure on Powell, and that's what they're going to do. And the defensive coordinator, he's got to find ways to try to flush Powell out, not let him sit there and pick apart the Gladiators.
I mean, you got to pick your poison. Do you let him kill you on the ground, or do you try to turn him into a passer? But he's so good at both.
He's just so dynamic. What you want him to do is you want him to run the ball because it keeps the clock moving. But he can just make plays, and not only just big plays, but explosive plays, touchdown type plays.
New set of downs for Powell here. He'll unload one quickly. Haley was open. Missed tackle by Brown. Good catch at the wall there by Haley. 6 foot, 190-pound receiver, Haley, where they just have so many weapons.
I mean, they just get so many to choose from, and it's just like we had talked about earlier at the beginning of the broadcast. These are the guys you kind of measure your franchise up against, and you can see why, because they're able to spread the ball around, get it to a variety of different guys and make plays and keep the chains moving here as we are under 5 minutes to go as the Gladiators try to find a way to stop this high-powered offense.
And Haley was one of the returning faces on the offense. Powell will give to Phillips, where he's upended by Serta. It'll be a short gain for Phillips.
Well, you talk about fan favorites, and obviously a local favorite here. Jason Serta played for the Monsanto Monarchs and the Eastern Greyhounds. He's just he is definitely a franchise player. He's a franchise favorite, a fan favorite, and just a powerful defender. And when he flies around and makes contact, it's special. It's fun to watch.
It'll bring up third down here. 3rd and 3 to be exact.
And this is what the Gladiators need. They need the clock to keep running. Even if when they get points here, they're running time off the clock. That actually helps the Gladiators as they get deeper into the second half.
Two in motion on the right side. Powell will keep it left. He's upended. He's got no helmet on now. And a short gain there. Great play defensively by Cooper.
Replay there. Cooper just a little high on the tackle, rips his helmet off.
All right, on 4th, let's see what the Gladiators want to do here. It's 4th and short.
Again, you're going to look for an outbreaking timing route here to the defense's left, the offensive right. That's kind of been the susceptible area, and they're going to have to play tight.
I think Coach Guy is going to go with a run here with Powell. What do you think?
I think he's going to throw it here, but you got a guy who can make plays in either situation. Little short field down there, so we're going to see if they can stop him here. This is a big play for the Gladiators.
Flags on the play. Powell kept it. Cooper couldn't wrap him up. Here comes Vines, and then a gang of Gladiators to tackle him, but flags came down from both sides.
That's got to be an offsides penalty.
The officials talk it over here, but again, great penetration by Cooper to get back there.
Cooper for back-to-back plays here on Powell.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal defense, number 28, ended up too close to the line of scrimmage. Illegal formation, number 28 offense, lined up too close to the guard. The fouls, penalties offset, replay 4th down.
So they'll replay the 4th down as we take another look. The penalties offset, but again, Cooper all over Powell early in this one.
That is an unfortunate situation. I'll have to check the rule here, but you can see on the replay, if you can run the replay back a little bit further, 28, Jason Serta is who the penalty was on the defensive side of the ball, and they said he was too close to the line of scrimmage on the snap of the ball, and you'll see him here as the linebacker.
Correction, there is no foul in the play for an illegal defense. On 4th down, with 2 or less to go, the linebacker can move up 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, which makes number 28 legal.
Coach, you've been
brushing up. The only foul on the play is an illegal formation. That penalty is declined. The offense failed to make the line to gain. 1st down, Duke City Gladiators.
So the Gladiators get the stop on 4th down. And how impressive, Coach, that you were up on your rules like that.
It's one of the things that's fun if you really love football is the uniqueness of indoor arena football, because there are some special rules and where guys can be and where they can't be, and it's fun to watch those. But the officials need to knock off some rust as well, and that's what they did. They came together, they got the right call, because you clearly see in the replay there that Serta was in the right spot. But that's a big, great emotional turn here for the Gladiators with 3.5 left to go in the second half, or the second quarter, excuse me. And now can they move the ball and get it where they need to be? Let's see if they're going to chip away at it, or they're going to go for a big strike here.
I think they're going to want to make sure this is the last possession of the half, if they can. Holbrook looking, still looking. Receiver never got turned back around. Him and Stoneham were not on the same page there.
There's some
second down.
Miscommunication going on with the receivers here, which is unfortunate. We might have a little bit of an injury. Number 65 here, Johnson, a little hobbled there on that play. He's done a great job all night long on the offensive line as the guard. But we want the ball we want the clock to keep moving, and we want to find ways to make big plays here and try to put some points on the board. Maybe if nothing else, just a field goal. But
so is that what you do for fun, Coach? You have your nose in the rule book?
I do like to enjoy the rules.
Man, you are a party animal.
Yeah, right.
All right, two in motion here on each side. Elmore can't catch it. It's going up for grabs, and Woods picks it out of the air. Woods is going to take it in for a pick six on a touch for the Rattlers. Boy, that was an interesting turn of events as Elmore slow to get up. Remember, they're not very deep at that position tonight. Let's take another look here.
You see on the replay, it's
off his foot.
It was off his foot. He just tried to stick his foot out there and kick it up, and unfortunately it landed in the Rattlers' laps. And that's just such an emotional letdown after the defense just did such a great job of giving the offense the ball back there. But unfortunately, that's been kind of the theme tonight for the receivers. We've got a lot of drop passes and a lot of opportunities that we've missed, and we're going to have to clean those up. I know the coaches are going to do a lot of talking and game planning about that in that halftime, but those are the plays that are backbreakers.
And with the defense playing so well this evening, the offense putting them in some bad spots as Lacayo is back out there for the extra point. Haley on the hold here, 1:30 on the clock. The kick is up, and it is through. Lacayo bangs through the extra point, and a very unfortunate turn of events for the Gladiators as that reception would turn into an interception here. Watch it one more time as it went off the foot of Elmore right into the hands of Kyrie Woods for the pick six.
If you have suffered tragic injury from an automobile which failed to meet safety standards, such as roof failure, door failure, or seatbelt failure, we can have the vehicle immediately inspected by our experts to determine a system failure. The vehicle must be preserved for inspection. Call the law firm of David C. Chavez now at 505-865-9696. We don't just consider who caused the injury, we look to see what the cause of the injury was.
Tired of big box stores that have nothing in stock? Shop local. Appliance Liquidators has truckloads of fridges, freezers, laundry appliances, and more showing up every day. Why shop for low prices when you can get bare bones prices every day at Appliance Liquidators? Save up to 40% off retail on home appliances from brands like GE, Frigidaire, Whirlpool, and more. Come for the huge inventory. Stay for the bare bone prices. Shop local for serious savings. Only at Appliance Liquidators.
So we were talking about maybe the Gladiators bleeding out the clock for the end of the half, and just after we mentioned that disaster strikes, Lacayo set to kick off here.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate, just an emotional turnaround.
Gregory takes this one deep out of his end zone. Woods is right there to stop him shy of the 10-yard line. And boy, you really have to feel for this defense because they've come to play tonight. This has been a great defensive performance by the Gladiators.
It's been absolutely a great performance for the Gladiators. Having those guys talking about the number one team in the IFL and talking about a program and a franchise with such great history, and for our defense to come out and get a stop down here in the red zone, that's a really big deal. It helps on the emotional side of things and getting the ball running, but these are the breaks that happen in football, and how you respond to these situations tells you a lot about your team. And so we're going to find out what the offense looks like here with 1:21 left to go in the first half.
I was almost expecting an onside kick there.
I was too.
The Rattlers tend to, special teams coordinator Coach Jornigan over there, he likes to call for that late in the half.
Well, and you talk about it, they get an onside there. That's really kind of a nail in the coffin.
They get the ball first in the second half, so Coach Guy and company they have been known to go for the kill right before halftime.
Yeah, they're.
That is a 1 minute warning. Timeout on the field.
Well, that'll take us all the way down to the 1 minute warning. We'll be right back to the event center.
Maria Ramirez?
Hi. Maria Ramirez.
Maria Ramirez.
McDonald's is committing $150 million in tuition assistance, education, and career advising programs
Maria Ramirez.
to help more employees achieve their dreams.
Quitting nicotine is hard. Now you can quit your way, free. 1-800-QUIT-NOW offers help to quit all nicotine products, including e-cigs, free. Triple your chances of success with a quit coach and free nicotine patches, gums, lozenges while supplies last. Looking for other ways to quit nicotine? We have programs for all nicotine users, specialized services for youth and pregnant women, unlimited sessions with a trained quit coach, and a free personal quit plan. Are you ready to quit? Now you can. Free. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW or visit quitnownm.com. You can quit today. Now you have the tools to succeed. Brought to you by the New Mexico Department of Health.
All right, we're back here to the Rio Rancho Event Center. Brand new One Albuquerque field. Beautiful looking turf. It was even dollar hot dog night, I think.
It was dollar hot dog. I heard that on the
radio.
radio.
How many did you have?
I'm going to have 6. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay. Grab some hot dogs, read the rules. Man, you are wild, Coach. Wild man.
Barn burner night, sir. Keeps you out of trouble.
All right, Holbrook and company back to work here at the 1 minute warning. Holbrook going to keep this one himself. This is not going to work out as he was met initially by Trayvon Williams. He's the one that got through there, and Coach Guy and the defense will take the timeout here.
Arizona Rattlers, they're second.
We're going to stay here during this timeout. Glad to have you tune in on the IFL YouTube channel as well as statewide on television here in New Mexico this evening. Coach Back, the head coach of the La Cueva Bears, is alongside. We talked about time of possession and how maybe that would be the strategy this evening. Well, the Rattlers have been able to close the gap a little bit because since I mentioned that huge disparity, the Gladiators have only had it for about another minute after that.
Yeah, that's been really the turnaround if you've watched the entire first half. That their ability to hold on to the ball, keep the clock moving, keep the chains moving was really kind of a hallmark for them in this first half. And then not having the breaks, or having the breaks that they've had and not being able to maintain that possession is what's kind of changed the feel and the momentum of this game. And obviously that pick six hurts them a little bit, but just you got to move the chains. If you want to be successful, you got to move the chains. And when your defense is doing their job like the Gladiators are doing tonight, you got to have big plays from the offense that keeps the chains moving, and we're just not seeing that yet. You know, the second half too, I think you're going to see a little bit more of Jackson, maybe in some motion stuff, some fly motion stuff, but he's a prolific runner. He can get north and south pretty quick, and I think that's going to be a thing for them.
And with the Rattlers possessing the ball first in the second half, this is almost a must score. Throw into double coverage. Oh, what a catch! Greg Dent Jr. He made up for a couple of drops right there.
I tell you what, that's the way you get people to forget about those drops and those big plays, is going up between two shooters here on the replay. You'll see it. High points the ball as high as he can get up, and just an awesome catch there.
Brandon Ozell and Dylan Winfrey had him bracketed, and he was still able to make the play.
You know, those are as a coach, you tell your quarterback, don't ever do that again, but he threw it into double coverage, and Dent Jr. just did a fantastic textbook job of going up, reaching up at its highest point, and coming down with the ball and giving them an opportunity with 42 seconds. You'll see it on the replay here. He's the only guy in the air, finding that ball at its highest point. That's just fantastic.
Some major hops coming off knee surgery last year.
We can jump that high, right?
No chance.
Net together, maybe?
No, I don't think so, not even then. Short play clock here. It is moving. They break the huddle at 10. They're in not any kind of hurry here at all. Jackson is the running back to Holbrook's left. Holbrook on the delay. He's going to keep it. He's going to be stood up at about the 3-yard line. Lost a helmet there.
Well, Holbrook's done a great job of running the ball, and I really like that play. I think that's a great play, but he's just not the finish type of runner where you're going to put your shoulder down and get that extra yard. He's going to need to have open space, but that's been kind of what they've done tonight.
Rattlers,
they've allowed him to run the ball, and
so the Rattlers,
that's been a big deal.
The Rattlers here will take their final timeout here. 35 seconds to go in the half. Can the Gladiators punch it in? We'll find out after this timeout.
Jack and Jill went up a hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and spilled his crown, and Jill tripped over him after. They got in their car. We don't live far. But boy, they should have known. If you drink, don't get behind the wheel.
All right, we're back here. Let's see if the Gladiators keep this on the ground or if they go back to the air here. It's 3rd and goal. Holbrook rolling to the right, running out of time and room, and he has to get rid of it.
Well, and I'm gonna put that on Holbrook's back there because he rolled out and it didn't look like his offensive linemen were setting up for a pass protection that allowed him to roll, and he kind of rolled into pressure himself. The offensive line has done a great job of giving him the time he needs and setting him up. You know, you've got Zach and Johnson, and they're doing what they need to do to make sure that those guys are getting the ball. But
Chris McAllister, the big fella, was chasing there.
McAllister, he's another individual with great size, good length, and just a lot of speed there on the edge, and you don't want to roll into him because he will be able to track you down here. Look for some fly motion from Jackson here, or something that gets somebody coming back across from the other side of the field.
This is a must score here for the Gladiators on 4th down. Here comes the pressure, up the middle, it's caught. It's a touchdown for Jared Elmore.
That's an absolute fantastic job by Holbrook staying in the pocket here, and we'll see it on the replay. You'll get the fly motion from Jackson to get the linebacker out of the hole, and then you'll get the receiver replacing him on the replay here. You see the linebacker leaves on the blitz through the A-gap, and the receiver comes back right to where he was at and just does a fantastic job as Elmore makes a big play to close out the first half.
All right, here's Barber to add the extra point here. Still plenty of time left on this clock, though.
Well,
Barber's kick is up and through. So the Gladiators, they had to score there. No doubt about that. It was all set up on that great play by Greg Dent Jr., and then they finished it off to Elmore. But still some time left for Drew Powell and the Rattlers. It's 20-14, Arizona.
Lily and Liam is a laid-back scratch kitchen cooking up all-day breakfast, sandwiches, salads, and delicious baked goods. At Nexus Brewery and Smokehouse, we serve up craft beers paired with delicious soul food. Come and see us at 1511 Broadway Boulevard Southeast. Paletta Bar Tramway, serving up customizable treats to Albuquerque. Come and see us at 12501 Candelaria Road Northeast and try something delicious.
When you quit smoking, your immune system is no longer exposed to tar and nicotine, so it'll become stronger and you'll be less likely to get sick. Are you ready to quit? Call 1-800-QUIT now for free coaching, patches, gum, or lozenges.
Jamal Miles is the deep man. He's going to pick this one up at the 5-yard line. Again, he sees some room as he's finally slammed into the wall and across the 20-yard line. 21 seconds is plenty of time for Drew Powell as we take one more look at this bomb to Greg Dent that really set up the touchdown.
Again, you talk about textbook play, going up, highest point, and then in the touchdown here, Holbrook staying in the pocket and getting Elmore coming back across. But it's really going to be on the defense here with 21 seconds left. They got to keep him out of the end zone. Force him to kick a field goal.
Remember, they kept him out of the end zone earlier. They had the stop on 4th down. And not only can Drew Powell and company score in 21 seconds, but remember, the Rattlers have yet to give up a point in the second half this season. Here comes some pressure. Powell sees it late. He's able to get rid of it, and it's incomplete as Thomas got home on the quarterback. Powell, great penetration by Jimmy Thomas.
That's a great play by Thomas to be able to hold a powerful runner like Powell and keep him from running out of that tackle, because Powell does that often if you watch the season and through the years. First contact typically doesn't bring him down, especially when you're trying to tackle him high, and he did a great job of holding on to his jersey and making it. You'll see it here on the replay. Pressure comes from this outside. He beats his man and holds on to him as Powell tries to get rid of it, and almost an interception.
Trying to bring up second down here. 2nd and 10. 15 seconds to go in the half here. Powell has time. Powell to the end zone. That's an open man. Juggling touchdown catch. Oh, what a beautiful catch there by Isaiah Houston.
Well, unfortunately, you got Charles Reed here who just lost his footing there. He saw the receiver breaking open, get over there, and it looks like he just tripped and fell down. And unfortunately, Powell, the field general he he saw that opening right away and put it where it needed to be for Houston to make a big catch with 8 seconds left.
Boy, he had to juggle to make that catch. Really full extension there by Houston. Here comes Lacayo for the extra point. What a catch, though, by Isaiah Houston. Good snap and hold, and it's blocked up front. Great job up front by Thomas to block the extra point. 8 seconds to go still. Let's take another look here at this catch again first. Catch, bobble, catch again. What a play there by Houston.
Great catch by Houston. Unfortunately, our safety had just tripped up and fell down as he tried to get back over the top in that cover 2 scheme. But, you know, Houston did what he needed to do to get up and make the play. But those are the things that the Gladiators have to prevent in order to stay in big games like this.
All right, they can steal some points here with 8 seconds, can't they, Coach?
Yeah, lots of time. Like basketball, just call a timeout.
Yeah, of course, Holbrook, you know, that's his best weapon, Holbrook, is that deep ball, right, with air under it. So, of course, the guy that's usually on the receiving end of that, he's not here tonight anymore.
Yeah, that's going to hurt.
They're going to have to. This is where you always had the magic before to Dello, but can they hook up with maybe a Greg Dent or a Daryl Stoneham?
Dent or Stoneham or Elmore. Those are all receivers with great height and great vertical ability, but you know, you would expect that the Rattlers are going to put 3 guys back. Are they gutsy enough to roll the dice here for an onside?
I was just thinking the same thing. Does Lacayo, who's so good at just rifling it up the middle off a front man, does he try to bounce one off of Stoneham's shin maybe? That would be awfully gutsy for Coach Jernigan here.
The Gladiators are thinking the same thing because they're up a little bit tighter too. They're expecting it.
Lacayo. If it goes through, it's points. It did not. Remember, another one of those quirky rules, inside of a minute to go, either half, if that kickoff goes through, that's a score. That's 1 point.
It's 1 point, and those are things that...
The kickoff went beyond the end line, untouched in the field of play. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 20-yard line. First down, Duke City Gladiators.
Those are one of those plays that make arena football a little unique because you don't often see that in a regular football game. You do get weird rules like if you fair catch a punt, you can get a free kick.
And there is some good kickers that can do that at the end of the half in this league. And Lacayo's one of them.
He's definitely one of them.
Sawyer Petrie obviously comes to mind as well. All right, so there are 8 seconds on the clock. They'll start it here at the 20.
You'll see Stoneham on one side and Elmore on the other.
Holbrook looking, still looking. He's got all day. He's going to float one towards the end zone. It's up for grabs, and it was batted down in the end zone by Dylan Winfrey. 2 seconds to go. They'll get another shot at it.
Greg Dent really had an opportunity to catch it there. The ball was thrown a little bit too far to the outside. You'll see it on the replay.
Here we go.
Holbrook holds onto it and throws it up there just a little bit too far outside, and Dent almost had a shot at it.
That's a lot of traffic there.
It's a lot of traffic in there, and Elmore was coming in there a little bit late, and that might have been his intended target. But
so they're going to go for points here with Barber. This would be a long field goal.
It's a good opportunity for your kicker here to see if he's got the accuracy from a long distance. With 2 seconds left, you know this is going to be the final play of the game, and this is a good call. This gives your kicker a chance to put some points on and gives you an opportunity to get some momentum as you go into the second half, because the Gladiators have really played well at certain times in spurts, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
All right, Barber, that got tipped. So that'll be a live ball, a returnable ball to Jamal Miles, as that was partially blocked. Miles, there's a flag on the play as the clock's hit 0. So we'll check the penalty.
It was an awesome almost tackle by number 65, our right guard Johnson. Got him down there where he needed to be to give him an opportunity to make a tackle. It was really great kick coverage by the Gladiators.
Officials discussing this one here.
It looks like the Rattlers are walking in.
There was no foul for an illegal block.
What? You can't block.
That is the end of the first half.
So they'll pick up the flag, and it's halftime here with the Rattlers in front. 26-14. Arizona will receive the second half kickoff, and remember, the Rattlers have yet to give up a point in the second half.
Dr. David Sockerman, orthopedic surgery specialist and proud partner of your Duke City Gladiators. At Spring Rollin', we believe that you should have your spring rolls your way. Come and see us for the most delicious spring rolls in Albuquerque, New Mexico. At Upscale Burger, located inside of Cottonwood Mall, we serve fresh, made-from-scratch burgers, shakes, fries, potato wedges, salads, and desserts.
The Duke City Gladiators are brought to you in part by these proud partners: IBEW, Local Union 611, and New Mexico Chapter, NECA, UA, Local 412, the Carpenters Union, the Ramada, Dark Horse Investments, Roadrunner Realty, Prestige Media Group, Westway Homes, the Santa Fe Police Department, Roadrunner Beauty and Spa, Spring Rollin', McDonald's, Upscale Burgers, and Lily Liam Bistro.
Are you looking for a career with great benefits and wages? Your Carpenters Local Union 1319 is looking for tradesmen of all different skill levels and experience. Carpenters Local Union 1319, proud partners of your Duke City Gladiators.
For over 35 years, we have represented the families of those who no longer have a voice and the tragically injured who need to be heard. At the law firm of David C. Chavez, we are the voice and would be honored to represent you. We undertake some of the most challenging cases against multi-billion-dollar companies which result in a fair resolution for our client. We have the experience and the resources to commit to your case.
Call the law firm of David C. Chavez, a recognized injury attorney, top 10, top 100, and super lawyer. 505-865-9696.
At Fogo de Chão, it all starts with fire. And then, out of the kitchen comes something that moves your mouth with tears of joy. And then, you discover what a masterpiece tastes like, filling you with childlike wonder. And then, your taste buds come of age on a 21-day aged ribeye. And then, just as you think it can't get any better, something on a salt block rocks your world. Welcome to What's Next.
The Duke City Gladiators are brought to you.
All right, it's halftime here at the Rio Rancho Event Center. Albuquerque Mayor Tim Keller throwing some spirals into the crowd. You know, he played backup quarterback in an exhibition game once. Did you know that, Coach? There he is, right there in the hoodie.
Did not know that.
So he was our backup quarterback during an exhibition game, and I know Tim enjoys the games. We're going to get to some halftime statistics here in just a moment. We'll start on the Arizona side of the ball. Boy, how good has Drew Powell been in that first half, Brendan?
He's so special. His ability with his feet and his arm just make him such a unique and difficult opponent for defenses to try to figure out. And we've seen it tonight. You know, he's made big plays running the ball, and he's made really big plays throwing the ball, putting it where only his guys can catch it. And you can see why he's playing for the Rattlers and why he's the guy wearing the crown.
6 for 7 completions, 56 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's also rushed it 5 times for 18 yards. So maybe the defense said, hey, we're going to try to make him a passer today, and he's showing that he can be just that.
He can do both for sure.
Offensively, though, for the Gladiators, the passing, Holbrook is 3 of 12 with an interception and a touchdown. But really, the interception was a freak interception. It went off Elmore's foot and went straight up into the air. So that was a pretty odd interception. But 3 of 12 passing, obviously that's rough.
That hurts a little bit. But you know, that 3 of 12 passing is really not on Holbrook's shoulders entirely. No. They've had some pretty significant drops in first down situations. But, you know, the guys, what you've always liked about the Gladiators, what I've always appreciated them, is their ability to continue to grind. And Dent, I think, fits that bill right now. He's done a great job of being the guy that missed the play there. He made a big play there, a big catch at the end, and that's what you get from Gladiators like that.
Right, and the defense has been good tonight, led by Cooper and company. And
Cooper and Serta have done a great job of doing what they need to do and making big plays, and the offense has just got to match the intensity and match the big play ability of the defense. And they're in this game, and you know, you might not be able to say that at the beginning of the game, but they're in this game right now, and they're doing what they need to do. They just got to control the clock a little bit better. Second half, we had talked about time of possession, and they kind of got away from it a little bit. I would expect Jackson to see a little bit more in the offensive scheme, whether that be in jet motions and things like that, or just dumping the ball down to him as a check down. But those are things that the Gladiators are going to have to work out here on halftime.
We're going to take a time out here. We'll go deeper into some stats when we come back, and all staff highlights.
In part by these proud partners: the Paletta Bar, Tramway, Sit Means Sit, Dog Training, Fogo de Chao, Brazilian Steakhouse, Roadrunner, Ready Mix, and JPR Gravel, Bubba's 33, Sadie's of New Mexico, Garcia's Kitchen, Nexus Brewery, Guild Mortgage, Roadrunner Realty and Investments, Dickey's Barbecue, and Fidelity Title. The Duke City Gladiators are brought to you in part by these proud partners:
The Vessel IV Bar, we're here to help you find your optimal state of wellness through on-demand IV drip hydration and micronutrition service. Roadrunner Realty and Investments is a proud partner of your Duke City Gladiators.
If you have suffered tragic injury from an automobile which failed to meet safety standards such as roof failure, door failure, or seatbelt failure, we can have the vehicle immediately inspected by our experts to determine a system failure. The vehicle must be preserved for inspection. Call the law firm of David C. Chavez now at 505-865-9696. We don't just consider who caused the injury, we look to see what the cause of the injury was.
Tired of big box stores that have nothing in stock? Shop local. Appliance Liquidators has truckloads of fridges, freezers, laundry appliances, and more showing up every day. Why shop for low prices when you can get bare bones prices every day at Appliance Liquidators? Save up to 40% off retail on home appliances from brands like GE, Frigidaire, Whirlpool, and more. Come for the huge inventory. Stay for the bare bone prices. Shop local for serious savings. Only at Appliance Liquidators.
Maria Ramirez?
Hi. Maria Ramirez.
Maria Ramirez.
McDonald's is committing $150 million in tuition assistance, education, and career advising programs
Maria Ramirez.
to help more employees achieve their dreams.
All right, we're back at halftime here at the Event Center. We're with Albuquerque Mayor Tim Keller, a former backup quarterback and occasional broadcaster, right, alongside me. First of all, beautiful new field, right?
Oh, man, it's so good to see. And I got to tell you, I'm walking on it right now, and it has this, like, amazing give but firmness. It's kind of like, my only equation is like a new car smell, you know, that never comes back.
Right.
This feel, I don't think in 2 games it's going to feel like
No,
this.
you don't think so?
I mean, we'll see, but it's great to see a field, and of course it's the barriers too. So this field, the Gladiators got it for as long as they want it every year, but we'll use it year round in Albuquerque and you know, you name the convention center or whatever. So it's a present to all of New Mexico.
Right. We were talking a little bit before we came back on, you know, with Nate Davis getting hurt, you know, maybe you were even thinking about, you know, strapping him back up, right? And if you were called into emergency duty, would you be ready to go?
Oh, man. Well, I got to tell you, I would say wonderfully my arm would be, but my neck would not be.
Right.
You know, my concern is getting paralyzed.
Right. And probably
I can throw, but I can't take a tackle, you know.
Yeah,
I'll
so-
break like a twig.
So an Arizona Rattlers game would not be the week you'd want to make your comeback.
No. So I figure that you got to script it out. It's got to be the worst team in the league. I'm coming in as backup quarterback. We'll give it a shot, and then I'll, you know, re-retire. I got it all mapped out. But it's not going to be against the Rattlers, that's for sure.
I'm with Brandon Back, the head coach of the La Cueva Bears. Coach, have you seen a more scrawny backup quarterback than our mayor?
We're going to plead the fifth on that one. We want to make sure we're staying in good graces on both sides. But
You know, he'll know I was a 3A quarterback, so you got to take it easy on me, you know.
That's
right.
Those
3A
6A
guys
kids,
got power. They got
that's
a lot
a
of
different
power.
game that I never could hang with over there.
Hey, he was leading San Juan Mendoza's powerful St. Pius offense.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, he was my first coach. And I was only about 500 when I was there with him. But a couple of years after is when they won state. And, you know, always he's got a close place in my heart. And the guy who coaches now, David Montoya, he was on our teams.
Right.
So I still try and go to the Pius games, throw around with them a little bit of practice. And then the Gladiators, you know, I do play their spring ball with them. We have some nice scrimmages.
Right.
And so at least I'm able to have some fun with them. But, you know, it's amazing that no one can appreciate the speed. Those watching on TV, when you're down on the field, you understand these are professional athletes.
Yeah.
And they are so much better than any high schooler you've ever seen in your life. And then you go to the college level, and it depends on the college, but these guys are world class.
Lastly, we're on statewide television tonight, and if people haven't been out to a Gladiators game, the indoor product in the IFL is really something, isn't it?
It is. You got to come check it out. And if you're a football fan, or even if your kids play football, when you see a game live, there's nothing like it. I want you to watch Fox. Shout outs to our broadcasters, but come check it out live too, because that's when you understand the speed and quickness and power of these athletes, and we're lucky to have them in New Mexico, man.
All right,
it's a great product.
The Rattlers have not given up a point in the second half. Do we have a comeback? You're here. Do we have a comeback in us? Mr.
Well,
Mayor?
I got to tell you, I'm loving Caleb out there. I was his backup for a game.
That's right.
I always worship the guy in front of you.
That's right.
Caleb taught me how to take a snap in arena. He taught me the playbook. So I'm heavily biased for the Caleb miracle. He's going to come out 4 points.
Last question. Is it true that everybody loves the backup?
Well, until they start losing. They love the backup for a half. And then everyone's calling for your head.
It's never your fault. So the great backup's where you need to be.
Yeah.
Charlie Batch made an entire career out of that with the Steelers. So
did like 6 other Lions who then became backups.
Well, thank you so much for joining us again, Mr. Mayor. It's always good to see you.
Good job. It's a great announcing crew, too, so I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate it. We'll take a timeout, and we'll have some highlights and some more stats right after this.
Quitting nicotine is hard. Now you can quit your way, free. 1-800-QUIT-NOW offers help to quit all nicotine products, including e-cigs, free. Triple your chances of success with a quit coach and free nicotine patches, gums, lozenges while supplies last. Looking for other ways to quit nicotine? We have programs for all nicotine users, specialized services for youth and pregnant women, unlimited sessions with a trained quit coach, and a free personal quit plan. Are you ready to quit? Now you can. Free. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW or visit quitnownm.com. You can quit today. Now you have the tools to succeed.
Dave & Buster's is the home of all Duke City Gladiator watch parties and their proud partners.
Jack and Jill
All
went
right, we're
up
back
the
at
hill to
halftime here.
fetch
So
a
we got the
pail.
stat sheet. We got the stat sheet in front of us here, and that time of possession. The Gladiators really did a nice job with that to start off, but Arizona closed the gap. 17 minutes, 20 seconds to Arizona Rattlers 12:40. The 26-14 halftime score. Anything else jump out at you here at this stat sheet, Coach?
The biggest one we talked about was the 3 for 12 from Holbrook, Caleb Holbrook, but. Again, that's not indicative of what's been going on. It's really been
so it's updated 4 for 15. I beg your pardon.
So it's real, and even the interception. You can't. It's always the quarterback's fault. That's kind of what you get in that position. But he's got to have help, especially when you talk about losing guys like Dello Davis and not having that type of receiver, and not just a receiver, but just somebody with that confidence and that field knowledge. When you lose that, you really got to have other guys step up and make big plays, and that's what they're kind of missing. But if you want to control the clock, you got to run the ball. Whether that's Caleb Holbrook, whether that's Jackson, or short, quick passes that give the guys the ball in open space. But they're going to have to keep that clock moving in order for them to stay in a competitive game here. Because the defense, I feel like, has done what they've needed to do and holding them back. The Rattlers had one drive of 2 plays for a touchdown. That just shows you how prolific their offense is and how powerful Powell is and how much of a field general he is. But you'll see it on the replays here.
That's the touchdown to start things. A beautiful pass to Houston.
Rifled it into Houston, and then Holbrook comes back and gets a touchdown here to Elmore on the edge. And those are the passes that they're going to need to make. Again, this is the interception. It's just one of those plays. Bounces off his hands, and he tries to kick it up with his foot and lands right in the Rattlers' pocket for a pick 6. But this is the big play of the night here. Greg Dent Jr. goes up between 2 defenders and makes a big play. It puts him in scoring position, and then Holbrook stays in the pocket and catches Elmore coming across on the backside. That's the type of offense you're going to have to see from the Gladiators in order for them to keep this clock and keep this game in a manageable position. On the other side of the ball, Jason Serta and Cooper, they've just had a great night of making big plays, and you're going to have to find ways to put pressure on Powell, because if he's able to do that, he's going to make big plays like that to Houston, where he caught the safety falling down on that replay. But the Gladiators are closer than the score would indicate, in my opinion, and I thought they've done a great job on both sides of the ball. But
I think the defense has been a bright spot this evening for the Gladiators, that's for sure. Remember, they got off the field on 4th down. That was huge. I thought maybe the Gladiators could turn that momentum. They have to take advantage of a defensive effort like they're getting tonight.
And I think they would, there was that unfortunate kick up off of his foot for an interception, not only an interception but points. But I feel like the offense is going to settle in a little bit more. But like I said, I think they're going to have to see a little bit more of Jackson in order to keep the clock moving, in order to keep the chains moving. He is a player who can get north and south as quick as anybody else that we've seen. I don't think they're going to do it on the edge. It's going to have to be up the middle like we had talked about earlier. But those are things that they're going to have to make at halftime, and I know this coaching staff has talked about it all week long about the adjustments they can make, and we'll see what the product they put out here with a minute 25 left in the halftime.
So we'll take a break, come back to the second half. Arizona will have the football.
Lily and Liam is a laid-back scratch kitchen cooking up all-day breakfast, sandwiches, salads, and delicious baked goods. At Nexus Brewery and Smokehouse, we serve up craft beers paired with delicious soul food. Come and see us at 1511 Broadway Boulevard Southeast. Paletta Bar Tramway, serving up customizable treats to Albuquerque. Come and see us at 12501 Candelaria Road Northeast and try something delicious.
When you quit smoking, your immune system is no longer exposed to tar and nicotine, so it'll become stronger, and you'll be less likely to get sick. Are you ready to quit? Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW for free coaching, patches, gum, or lozenges.
And maybe one more bright spot on that stat sheet as we're back is how about the return game today from Vincent Gregory?
He's done a good job. I kind of like to see him in the offense a little bit more because when he gets the ball in his hands, he's making plays, and you saw it there on the special teams. He's made a couple guys missed and made some big plays and gave his offense the opportunity to start at midfield, and that's a big deal when you're talking about playing a powerhouse like the Rattlers. But the Gladiators have components. They have the guys in the right spots. They just got to hold on to the ball on offense and continue to do what they need to do on defense, and that's putting pressure on Powell and making him speed up his decision-making process. Unfortunately, Powell is such a great athlete that I'm not sure that's going to be a big problem for him.
And this is almost another crucial series coming up here for the Gladiators defense as the Rattlers will possess the ball first. The 8-man back there is Miles. Miles, after a little bobble, comes out of there. Cut back up the middle, and he's wrapped up.
Great special teams coverage by the Gladiators. They did a great job. Those squid kicks sometimes get down there faster than the return team can get down there, or the kickoff team can get down there. But they did a great job of staying in their lanes and keeping the runner bottled up and starting with a short field here.
So Drew Powell and the offense will go back to work here. 26-14 is the Rattlers lead here. Again, Powell in that first half was 7 for 9, 85 yards, 3 touchdowns. Also rushed for 18 yards. Just 5 carries for Powell. He hasn't had to do it with his legs.
He hasn't had to do it. But you know what? That's because the Gladiators have been doing a great job of making tackles and not letting little plays turn into big plays. But when you got safeties and linebackers like Jason Serta and you've got Cooper on the edge there as a defensive end, it's really some great speed and some great opponents. You'll probably see Serta spying Powell like he did in the first half.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty.
I think I've ever seen that, a delay of game to start the half.
Not coming out of halftime like that, but.
A reminder, we're back at home again next week here at the Event Center, so we hope you can come out and join us. And remember, in week 1, these two teams met at the Footprint Center, and really that was the game. Of course, Nate Davis got injured, but first half, Gladiators right there, and then they blanked the Gladiators in the second half, and they did the same thing defensively against San Diego last week. That one's complete to Miles, but he's brought down immediately.
That was a great little play design there. That was a screen play, really, is what it was. It was a little throw to the outside, and the lineman released downfield, and Cooper, again, his speed on the outside edge to track that ball down and make that tackle. That's a great athletic play there by your defensive end.
Yeah, how many times have we called Cooper's name already today?
He's been the guy. He's definitely been the guy down there on the edge. You know, he doesn't have a lot of weight behind him, but what he has is speed, and so those offensive guards are having a hard time getting their hands on him because he's just so fast.
Second down. Powell looking, still looking. He's got all day. Open receiver up the middle. It's caught by Houston as he was tackled across the 17-yard line there by Reed. So we'll bring up third down here. And 2. No, they're going to move it back.
It's a great job of Reed making that play in the open field because there was nobody else behind him. But those are the things you can't let Powell do. You can't let him sit back there and make his second and third reads because he is that type of quarterback. He will find the open man and put the ball where it needs to be.
Powell had Houston open right away. Houston is spun down across the line to gain. It's a Rattlers first down. Greg Dent Jr. on the tackle, but Houston had enough on a quick release there from Powell.
That's a great open field tackle by Dent. Little short route, little hitch route. Just get to the sticks, get beyond the sticks by a yard, and play catch and keep the chains moving. Our defensive end here on our defensive right side, Jimmy Thomas, he almost had his hand on that ball, but
I don't see Robert Brown out there. They have Dent out there now. He's going both ways. Powell looking. Again, he has time. He's going to bring this one down. Cooper was chasing him, and it is caught. Almost intercepted, but instead it was a great catch by Haley. And look at him go in for the touchdown. Boy, that is a game of inches right there.
Literally a game of inches right there. And it starts by the fact that Powell had all kinds of time to move in the pocket. You'll see here on the replay, he's checking down to his second and third, and then he rolls out, and he catches him making an out-breaking cut here, Braxton Haley, and he just makes guys miss from there for a touchdown. But, you know, we're talking half an inch away from that ball being batted down or an interception. But unfortunately, good teams make good plays, and that's what you saw there out of Powell. And
Haley may have got away with a lot of contact on his defender on that play. Lacayo was on to secure the extra point here. Haley, who just scored, is the holder. He drills that one right off the attorney's face in the netting. Through. The extra point's good. Arizona strikes quickly. Drew Powell to Braxton Haley for the touchdown, 33-14.
Dr. David Sockerman, orthopedic surgery specialist and proud partner of your Duke City Gladiators. Dr. David Sockerman, orthopedic surgery specialist and proud partner of your Duke City Gladiators.
We're back at it here at the event center. That's the last thing that the defense wanted there was a quick Arizona score.
Yeah, if you're gonna score, you want them to take as much time off of the clock as possible. But again, Powell having all the kinds of time he needed, and Haley doing what he needed to do to find open space. But pressure on the quarterback, it doesn't matter what level you're playing. Pressure on the quarterback is going to help your defense out. And when you have a quarterback like Powell who can make those plays, those are things you're going to have to figure out. So you'll probably see a little bit more blitz package out of the Gladiators on the next drive, but it's going to come down to the offense now. They get an opportunity to put points back on the board, keep this game close, and they're really going to have to lean heavily on Caleb Holbrook to make plays.
Yeah, and it's really been a struggle through the air.
You know, this is really, we had talked about it for a while here, but look for the onside kick here for Arizona. They're smelling blood in the water here. They got a quick strike touchdown to open up the second half. And we've seen them in the past. This is where he kind of likes to roll the dice and try to get the ball back in his possession right away. So the Gladiators are going to have to be on their toes. They got their guys up front. You know, you got your receiving core up there in the middle with Elmore and Stoneham.
I remember last week against San Diego, that's when Demery Croft came in relief of Drew Powell, and the defense did the work. Boy, what a dominant defensive effort that was, as San Diego had no chance to move the football in the second half against the Rattlers. Lacayo's ready. Gregory out of his own end zone. And Gregory gets to about the 13-yard line. And then a little extra across the field, and here comes the flag. Cooper was getting into it with somebody over there. Was it
Cooper or Dent? I couldn't see. It's Cooper.
And I think they're going to get this. They always get the second guy, and it was Cooper.
It was Cooper.
That was the second guy, and so I think this is going to go against the Gladiators.
Well, you got, he got blocked all the way across the field into the wall there, and he probably felt like that was a little bit after the whistle.
Let's take a look here. We'll see it here on this.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 6 offense, his first of the game.
You got to let the play
the
run a
penalties half
little
the
bit longer.
distance to
You'll
the
see
goal.
it there after the
First down, Duke City Gladiators.
He kind of gets blocked into the wall and pops up and gives this guy a little bit of a shove, but again, those are things you can control. Those are things you want to avoid putting your offense in a hole like that situation. But it's going to be up to Caleb Holbrook to make a big play here and make an adjustment to give the Gladiators an opportunity to put points on the board. And we get a officials timeout as they reset the chains here.
10:44 on the game clock here in this third. We'll mention another home game next week. Chance for you to join us again here at the event center. So Devontae Jackson on the edge, and we mentioned earlier, this is a Rattlers team that is so quick to the ball on the edge. Can't make anything on the edge.
No, you can't, and that's one of those things where Jackson's going to have to do what he needs to do to try to make him think they're going outside and then stick his foot in the turf and get north and south, because he is not going to find open grass out there on the edge with the speed of this defense.
Holbrook has some time, and it's incomplete. It was intended for Stoneham, and boy, did Kyrie Woods jump that route.
My goodness, I haven't seen a DB undercut a route like that in a long time. He knew the play was coming. He knew it was the timing route. His receiver did have a step on him, but man, he cut back underneath that play and put his hand in the path of the ball and made a huge play, because that's a big first down for the Gladiators if he doesn't do that. But Kyrie Woods from San Diego State University, 6 foot, 195 pounds, he's just done an outstanding job out there, and you'll see it here on the replay. He just jumps over the receiver and sticks his hand out there, makes a big play for the Rattlers.
We're on third down here. Holbrook steps up in the pocket, floats one up the middle. It's complete to Dent, and he's across the 20-yard line into Rattlers territory. Woods finally able to bring him down. Gladiators needed that third down conversion.
That was a big play by Caleb Holbrook. Obviously, it started off with the offensive line, giving him the time he needed on the replay. You saw it there. He had the time to step up in the pocket.
Pass interference, number 12 offense. The penalty's half the distance to the goal. It's third down.
So it's an offensive pass interference here. Let's take another look.
That is too bad, because that's a great job of Dent catching the ball in the open field. He knew he was going to get hit, held onto the ball, and was able to make a big play, but
takes away the third down conversion on the penalty. The Gladiators get called for more than their share of illegal rub routes when they play the Rattlers. I'm not saying that Coach Guy sends in a lot of film, but I'm just saying it's a lot of those calls when they play the Rattlers. So
I'm a defensive guy, so I love it when the offense gets called for a penalty, because it doesn't ever seem to happen. But you never want to see that when you're the hometown team, for sure. But that was a great job of him getting open, and those rub routes happen all over the place, and maybe it happened just a little bit too late or right in front of the officials' eyes, but they definitely got caught, which erased a big third down.
Of course, that controversial rub route offensive pass interference in the playoff game between these two teams. Holbrook, incomplete. Trying to get it out to Jackson on the edge. He had some room.
He had a lot of room, and he had
Coach
Stoneham
Carter's
down
thrown
there.
a challenge flag, so they're going to challenge something here.
He had Stoneham down there blocking Woods, which would have opened up an even bigger play. That would have been a great little first down if we get an opportunity to see it here on replay.
So the flag is down. The challenge flag's down here. Not sure what Coach Carter is challenging here, but they'll come over to us here, and we'll find out in a moment.
Duke City Gladiators is challenged an illegal twist by the defense.
So Coach Carter is challenging an illegal twist on the defense. So again, remember, we mentioned that the defenders had to be lined up a certain way. The officials will take some looks at this replay here. And what they're looking at is what you'll be looking at at home on your screen. So again, what they're checking here is an illegal twist by the defense. And is that something that you spotted, Coach?
I did not see that, but I was watching him roll out because it looked like they were trying to get the ball to Jackson the entire time. And they tried to get the defense to move one way and then throw the ball back across to the other side. So here you see on the replay here.
I don't think this is going to be the best angle behind the quarterback here. Here we go.
This is the top.
You'll see here.
It doesn't look like it. It looks like he came through the A gap like he was supposed to. He's lined up in the right spot where he needs to be. And
basically, for those of you that are just joining, you're not allowed to, any kind of twist or stunt by the defenders is obviously not allowed in the IFL.
Yeah, you're allowed to rush, but you cannot change gaps. And you see the linebacker there, number 23, Williams. He's lined up at the depth he's supposed to be, and he starts attacking in the A gap, and we call the A gap the gap between the guard and the centers. And he's coming through the A gap, and then as the quarterback rolls out, he rolls with him.
So in layman's terms, basically, a defensive lineman, when they're rushing the passer, they have to just power up their guy. They're not allowed to twist or stunt in any way. And
the linebacker has to go through the A gap. He cannot start in the middle of the field and go around to the outside, and that's what they're checking here, but it looks like he did it right.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a successful challenge here. Let's go
After
down the field.
review, the lineman went to the ground and they did not cross, therefore it is not an illegal twist. Duke City Gladiators has charged their first timeout and their first replay challenge. It's 4th down.
So the Gladiators lose a timeout there, and it's 4th down on an unsuccessful challenge on the twist.
I tell you what, the unsung hero on the defensive side of the ball for the Rattlers is number 23, Williams. He's a headhunter, and he plays that position with just an intensity that we haven't seen in a lot of teams. And when he comes downhill to hit somebody, he's coming down with every ounce in his body to do it, and he's done a great job of making open field tackles. He made a big play to open up the first half against Williams on their first run play, and he's kind of been all over the place tonight. And
this is his second season as he returned from last year. He's a Florida international man. They list him at 5'11", 225. All right, 4th down here. They're going to go for the long field goal. Punting's not allowed, but this almost acts like a punt when you do this.
Yes, it's definitely a punt.
So it's a live ball fielded at the 2. Oh, a lot of room.
That's going
Flags
to be a penalty.
are in.
23 on the blindside block, but
yeah, they took out Mason Newton. Then the ball changed possession as Fondal came away with it. But Newton got taken out on that play, and they're pretty light at that position.
Yeah, that's that blindside block that all levels of football. You'll see it coming back
There's
here
a couple
through
of
the
Gladiators
middle.
down. There's another Gladiator down on the other side. There, you take a look at that. You see it there. The officials are going to take an official's timeout. But there's 2 Gladiators down. Who's the other Gladiator down?
I can't see a number on him. But
it might be no, it's not
number
Dan.
50, Mason Newton. He took a shot from Williams. We just talked about Williams and his head-hunting ability and his ability to come
Let's go down to the field.
Personal foul, illegal blindside block, number 23, receiving team.
It is Williams.
That penalty is declined. There was a fumble on the play recovered by Duke City. 1st down, Duke City.
So the Gladiators will decline that penalty because they recovered a fumble on the play.
Cooper, number 6.
Well, they can't be without him.
A big part of the Gladiators' defense tonight. He was the other Gladiator who was down, and I think he caught another blindside block or just an unfortunate situation running in. But a
fumble
big
recovery
play.
here at the end of the play.
The huge fumble recovery by number 60, Zach Fondal. He's done a great job on the offensive side of the ball of giving Holbrook enough time to make plays and find open receivers. But a heads-up play for him. We talked about not being able to punt, and that really turns into a punt situation. But then you have offensive linemen downfield trying to make tackles, and that's where bad things happen, and that's what we ran into here.
Gladiators catch a break here. They'll get possession after the fumble. Much closer to midfield. Holbrook. Oh, bad exchange. Holbrook has to fall on it. And he just does fall on it because guess who got into the backfield? It's Williams again, bringing the pressure.
23, Trayvon Williams. Again, his ability to get upfield and get into that quarterback's face, but really that was just a bobbled exchange between Jackson and Holbrook, and that's kind of the thing that bit them a little bit last week when those 5 fumbles and 5 interceptions, sorry. The turnovers, but it was not being able to maintain presence with the ball and not having it in your grasp at all times, and those are the things that shoot you in the foot as you're trying to make a drive here, and now you're getting a second and long.
Robert Landers, the big fella, again on that right side of the offense or the defensive line. He got the penetration again. Pressure coming. Holbrook uncorks one, but it is out of the reach of Jared Elmore.
Elmore got away with a little bit of a push there as he made his breaking, his out-cutting route. He put his hand on the DB and got him to fall down, but Holbrook couldn't hook up with him because, again, number 23, Trayvon Williams, is in his face.
So that'll bring up 3rd down now. Yeah, they were coming for Holbrook here.
They were.
The backup quarterback's Ramon Atkins, as Nate Davis is still hurt.
Again, you're talking about 3rd and long. You expect Williams to blitz again through one of the A gaps. And look for Jackson out in the middle of the field here.
All right, here we go. 3rd down and 10. Again, Williams. He nailed Holbrook. Oh, what a catch at the wall by Daryl Stone on the catch.
Huge for Daryl. That's a great catch for Daryl. Gets him into the game. A little back shoulder play, back shoulder throw by Holbrook, which is just very difficult to defend, and he puts it right where it needs to be. And Daryl just did an excellent job of turning around and catching that ball as he's moving forward. The defender is actually in his back pocket in the right spot, but it's just an athletic play by Stoneham.
That's my old broadcast partner, Coach. Could you do that?
No.
Look what he can do.
I'm going to go with no.
And Holbrook took a shot on that play. All right, they're on the doorstep here. 1st and goal.
I could do it on Madden, maybe.
Maybe.
Probably not.
Stoneham's to the right side of the formation. They're going to have to burn a timeout here again. All kinds of confusion here. And a timeout for the Gladiators.
Timeout.
Take it with
Duke
them.
City
We'll be right
Gladiators.
back.
Their 2nd timeout on the field.
Coach, the flex cam's out again. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Put it on us.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Probably not.
I don't want to rip through these shirts.
Well, that's what it is. This is my only blue shirt.
Yeah, this is expensive.
I don't have any blue stuff in my closet at all.
All right, there's a must score here for the Gladiators. They've had to burn a couple of timeouts with some of this offensive confusion.
Well, and that you talked about the missed challenge. That's going to cost you a timeout, and then another timeout here as they're trying to run into play and they're a little confused. And those things can come bite you back in the butt later. But nothing's going to matter if we don't get points out of here. We're not talking about a field goal. We need to get a touchdown. So look for Elmore on the wide side of the field, breaking towards the pylon, or Jackson sneaking up the middle. Those seem to be two ways that the Gladiators have gotten the ball in the end zone late.
5:05 to go here in the 3rd. It's 1st and goal for the Gladiators here. It's a 33-14 Arizona Rattlers lead. Again, the Gladiators are back at home next week as they'll host the Bay Area Panthers. And it'll be a Friday night affair as the Rattlers will be at Las Vegas. Holbrook with some time, batted down. Great defensive play there by Kyrie Woods. He's been everywhere tonight.
Everywhere. He is the corner that's made big plays there on the outside edge. Again, this is the same type of play. He's got a receiver coming back across. You see it on the replay, and Woods again leaves his feet, jumps in front of the receiver, and knocks the play down. Textbook defensive play by a corner out there, and that's what you want to see. And he's just had a great night knocking balls down, because that was really a great play, and Holbrook gave him a shot, but Woods just made a better play.
All right, bring up 2nd and goal here. Holbrook looking. There's a flag on the play as Stoneham got tripped, I think, or taken out. It might be interference. They had Jackson open as well. This has to be pass interference because Stoneham went to the ground. Let's see. They're still talking it over. And now they're talking to Kevin Guy. So it must be on the
holding,
Gladiators.
number 56 offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Hold on Isaac
2nd
Jackson.
down.
That actually works out in the Gladiators' favor because they get a chance to replay the down. But again, guess who's coming through the middle, unabated, untouched, and putting pressure on the quarterback. And I don't care who the quarterback is. When you got a guy like Trayvon Williams coming downhill, you're just trying to get rid of the ball and stay alive, and that's exactly what happened.
2nd and goal. This does give them some more room to operate.
Yeah, and it gives them the down back, so this is actually kind of a...
Surprised Coach Guy took that one?
I am a little bit surprised he took that one, especially as well as the defense has been playing, but gives the Gladiators an opportunity. Look for them to look for Elmore here. He's been their vertical stretch guy that they've gone to all night long, and he'll be the guy in motion.
On a quick one, it's batted down at the line by Merriweather. By McAllister. Chris McAllister batted it down.
Well, Chris McAllister just walked up to our table, and I'm not going to lie to you, that gentleman is a little frightening.
It's intimidating. What do they have him listed at? 6'3", 245.
Large is what they have him listed at.
And he got his hand up right away.
He got his hand up right away. You know, when you get a guy like that, 6'2", 250 from Baylor University, he knows how to play. He knows how to play with speed, and you saw that there. He's able to get vertical and knock the ball down before they had a chance to catch it. But third and long here is a little harder to deal with.
Yeah, clock's moving. Under 3 minutes here. 3rd and goal. Holbrook. Pressure coming from his blind side. He got taken out by Trevon Hill.
And that's too bad because Elmore was actually open there on that corner route. He did a great job of getting behind the defender, number 7, Brandon Izell, and he was open, but the ball's a little bit underthrown. But again, the ball's underthrown because he's got pressure on him from Hill on the outside edge. And Hill just flat out beat his guy around the edge to put pressure on the quarterback. But it looks like we're going to go for a field goal here to try to get points on the board with,
again, Hill,
2 minutes left.
Hill was whistled for 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties last week, so we thought he was not going to be eligible to participate this evening.
Did they?
But he's out there, so I don't know if they must have revoked one during the week.
I was going to say they must have had it reviewed and looked at it. But we haven't had the greatest night kicking tonight, but this gives us an opportunity to put points on the board.
The kick is wide left. The field goal is no good. It'll stay Rattlers 33, Gladiators 14.
At Upscale Burger, located inside of Cottonwood Mall, we serve fresh, made-from-scratch burgers, shakes, fries, potato wedges, salads, and desserts.
All right, back to offense here for Drew Powell and company. Short one up the middle is complete to Haley across the 10-yard line. Vines with a tackle.
Again, just giving the Rattlers giving themselves just a little bit of extra room. Short little hitch route, we call it. Find the open grass, set you up, show the quarterback your numbers, and play catch, and it gives you in a second and short situation, and those are the things that good offenses do. Just chip away at it little bit here and there, and then they'll make a big play. Look for Powell to run it here.
Powell takes the snap, looking to throw. It's complete at the dasher to Jamal Miles.
First down, chains moving. The defense is doing a good job of trying to keep guys bottled up, but there's just so many weapons, so much talent out there.
Third reception of the night from Miles on the 13th completion for Drew Powell. Rattlers have a chance to really put this one to bed in the third here if they can score on this drive. The two in motion are on the left. Powell keeping the play alive, and now Powell sees some green. Oh, what a stiff arm he just delivered to Greg Dent as he crossed midfield. What a stiff arm, excuse me, that was Cooper that he stiff armed down. What a play there by Powell.
Well, that was an awesome play by Powell because Cooper is a great defender and he's a great open field tackler.
That is the end of the third quarter.
Watch
time
this.
out on the field.
One more time here.
You'll see him cut back, and Cooper's got him, but man, he hit the X button really hard on that one and put him all the way down to the turf. But
one more look at Drew Powell.
The Duke City Gladiators are brought to you in part by these proud partners: IBEW, Local Union 611, and New Mexico Chapter, NECA, UA, Local 412, the Carpenters Union, the Ramada, Dark Horse Investments, Roadrunner Realty, Prestige Media Group, Westway Homes, the Santa Fe Police Department, Roadrunner Beauty and Spa, Spring Rollin', McDonald's, Upscale Burgers, and
Fourth quarter about to start here. It's 33-14 Arizona Rattlers. The Rattlers trying to move to 3-0. Gladiators trying to find an 0-3 start to the season. No word on when Nate Davis will be back from injury. Dello Davis, their franchise receiver, was released this week. So a lot going on here, and an 0-3 start is the last thing the Gladiators want. We'll be back at it next week here at the Event Center.
Yeah, you got to stop the bleeding. But, you know, you talk about trying not to go 0-3, but when you got the Rattlers here in your arena, it's very hard to do that. But next week's going to be a great opportunity for them to get back out there and to improve on some of the little things and some of the mistakes that they made tonight. But we've got a lot of game left.
Brutally tough start to the schedule as well. Haley on the carry. I mean, 2 out of your first 3 weeks against the Rattlers, with Frisco sandwiched in between.
That's rough. You know, you talk about trying to let a new team grow up and learn before they kind of get thrown to the wolves, but that wasn't the case here for the Gladiators this year, having to face the Rattlers twice in the first 3 weeks. But, you know, I felt like they've done a lot of great things tonight. They've just made some big plays. That pick six that off of Elmore's foot, you know, things like that go their way. It's a different score. But we got a whole quarter of football left here, and the defense is doing their best to keep them out of the end zone.
Yeah, and I mean, how good have the Rattlers looked? Better than even last season.
Yes.
Flag on the play. And we mentioned the Rattlers will be on the road. It's a Friday night against Las Vegas.
Illegal snap, number 79 offense. 5-yard penalty, it's first down.
So it's a penalty against the Rattlers.
Let's turn up the volume a little bit. Let's make some noise.
You know, one of the other bright spots that I've been watching on this second half especially is number 50, Mason Newton, here as the nose guard. He's done a outstanding job. He hasn't put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, but he's maintained those gaps, and they haven't been able to run vertically, and that's been a great job for the defense tonight.
They don't have all the size up front there, but Cooper's so physical in that frame. Powell, he's hit as he released it. It's on the turf, no signal yet. Cooper scoops it up. It's a live ball and a touchdown for Cooper.
They're going to obviously take a look at this to see if his hand was moving forward and if it was an incomplete pass or a fumble. But Jason Serta, again, with the power and the pressure there, he ran through his guy, his blocker, to put pressure on Powell. And that's a mistake from Powell you don't often see.
Yeah, Kevin Guy deciding whether he wants to challenge this or not. Right now it's a touchdown defensively for Cooper on the fumble recovery. Officials talking it over with the Gladiators coaching now.
So no replay.
Let's go down for the
The
announcement.
ruling on the field is a whistle blew when the ball was loose. Therefore, the ruling is an incomplete forward pass. The ruling on the field of an incomplete forward pass is being challenged by Duke City.
All right, a lot to unpack there. So the whistle blew, and they called it a forward pass. Coach Carter is going to challenge that. We did not hear that whistle. Did you hear that whistle?
I did not hear a whistle.
Yeah,
at
it was
all.
hard. I didn't hear the whistle, but so the whistle blew is what they're saying, and so that makes it an incomplete forward pass, and that's what's being challenged by Coach Carter here.
So they'll get ready to play the replay here.
Here we go. This is from the reverse angle here. This might not be the best angle. Let's see. Oh, that's no way that's a forward pass. No way, Coach.
No, that's
from that angle at least. They're going to look at a couple, I'm sure.
That ball was coming out as he was trying to get his hand up into a throwing position. He actually had pressure from both sides. Serta on one side, and I think it was.
Here's another look
Newton
from another
on the
angle.
Other side.
That
looks
did
like a
not
fumble.
look like that was coming forward at all. Again, what you're looking at home is what the officials are looking at as well. So.
And they'll run it back again, and you'll see that the ball looks like it. You'll see the tip of the ball is not in a what we would call a normal throwing position because it looks like he's losing grip of it as he's coming up. And this is a quick review for
They've
the
seen enough. Let's see. We'll go down to the field for the announcement.
After review, it was determined that it was a fumble, and there was a clear and immediate recovery by the defense. However, they will not be afforded the advance, so the touchdown will not stand, but they will retain possession. First down, Duke City at the 21-yard line.
So that's kind of like kissing your sister there. You win the challenge, but you don't get the touchdown.
You don't get it. It's one of those inadvertent whistle situations that basically is what it turns into. But, you know, great job by the officials to come together and take a look at it. And you can clearly see early how that ball was moving out of his hands before he had a chance to even try to get his arm in a forward motion. But
so wipe away Cooper's touchdown there. It is Gladiator football on a rare Arizona Rattler turnover. Great play by Cooper again defensively.
Cooper, again, we've called his name a lot tonight. He's done a great job around the ball at all times.
So usually after a turnover, the Gladiators have been known to go for a deep ball. Of course, that was with Nate at quarterback and Dello at receiver. Let's see if they go for an immediate quick one here. And they'll go short instead. It's complete to Greg Dent.
That's actually a great little job of getting something positive after a turnover because the Gladiators haven't had that tonight really. And so for them to be able to get a quick little pass, now they're in a second and manageable situation. Now you really can open up the playbook to Holbrook to run or Jackson or throw the ball, and that really helps your offense out a lot.
Holbrook going to go underneath again. That's caught.
And that was a great job by Greg Gent Jr. Again, he caught the ball there on a short little route and then made the first guy miss and got a couple extra yards there. And
Brandon Azell on the tackle.
This is a great job of Dent because he really didn't have the greatest first quarter or even half.
No, it started with 2 or 3 drops.
And he made one big play down there at the end to put him in scoring position, but he's really made some changes and made some big positive plays here. And now we're in a 3rd and 1 situation, and that's where you want to be as the offense.
Big 3rd and 1 here. They'll send Dent and Elmore in motion. Holbrook looking. Here comes the pressure at his feet. Nobody in the corner of the end zone. And again, there's some extracurricular stuff on this side. It's getting chippy No flag thrown.
Well, as a Gladiator, we want to avoid that. We don't want to shoot ourselves in the foot because we're in a scoring position. We're also in a position where we can get a new set of downs here at 4th and 1. Obviously, I would think Jackson or Holbrook's going to run the ball here. And Holbrook has actually been our better running back tonight, but
a couple of bad exchanges today as well with Jackson and Holbrook.
Had one, especially in that jet motion here. You'll probably see Jackson in motion here.
All right, big one coming up here for Duke City. Jackson is in motion. Holbrook goes quickly, complete to Elmore.
And forward progress will give him the first down. That's a great little first down sticks play. We call it a sticks play. Tell your receivers to get 1 yard beyond the receiver. You'll see it 1 yard beyond the sticks, catch the ball, even with the defender in your face there, and move the chains. That's a great job. Great catch by Elmore. Ball's a little high, but Elmore does a great job of jumping up and catching the ball and securing the first down.
Dylan Winfrey on the tackle there. So Jared Elmore's 4th catch of the night. Holbrook got to keep it. No, wrapped up from behind there by the big fella Hill.
Little option play there. I'm not sure if Holbrook had many options himself, but he was going to run that ball and get a couple yards out of it. He's really done a great job with his feet tonight. They'll have the wide side of the field to work with, so you could expect a receiver coming back across the middle here, especially if they send pressure up the middle or to Elmore on the outside edge. That's how they scored their first touchdown this evening, an out-breaking route to the corner of the pylon to Elmore, and so he's a big, strong receiver. Look for something like that here as we're tight inside the red zone.
They'll send Elmore and Stoneham in motion. Holbrook looking, still looking, has some time. It's caught. It's a touchdown. It's Daryl Stoneham on the catch.
That's a great play by Stoneham.
That's my partner.
He's done a heck of a job tonight. He's really made some big plays here in the second half. That back shoulder play early in the second half, and then this touchdown, obviously. And for the Rattlers, number 45, Trayvon Hill, who has been a kind of a defensive menace for them. He went down with, looks like something wrong with his back. The trainers are looking at him now, but points on the board for the Gladiators. We need this extra point with almost a little less than 9 minutes left to go here in this fourth quarter.
Barber on for the extra point, and it's through. So the Gladiators putting up some points on the touchdown pass to Daryl Stoneham. It's the Rattlers 33, Duke City 21. Kiss Cam is in full effect here at the Rio Rancho Event Center. Sebastian Dahl, Brandon Back, glad to have you along here on the IFL's YouTube channel, as well as across statewide television this evening. The Rattlers trying to go to 3-0, number 1 team in the IFL, and the Gladiators trying to mount a comeback here. It's 33-21, 8:58 to go here. Question's going to be, do you try an onside kick here? Is it that time?
It is not that time for the Gladiators, I don't believe. You've had some momentum in your favor. You've scored. You've moved the ball well. Your defense is playing pretty well. They had a big turnover on the last series. Let's kick it deep. Let's get down there, secure a tackle, and make them earn the entire length of the field. But, that was a great offensive series by the Gladiators. It was a great little mix of short passes and long passes. Little dink and dunk here that got the Gladiators all the way down the field. Holbrook with one run there, but that's the kind of offense you need. It's sustained drives, takes time off the clock, time of possession is in your favor, and that's what we had early in the first half, and it was good to see that back again here late in the fourth quarter.
All right, let's see what the Gladiators have in mind here. There goes Squibb. Picked up at the 10, trouble, midfield. He got the kicker to beat, and he danced him out of his shoes. It's a touchdown return for Jamal Miles. There's a flag that came in late after the play. Stoneham is down as well. Remember, he missed last year with an Achilles injury. Flag came in from the Arizona sideline, but I believe it was after the play. Let's see.
Yeah, Stoneham kind of came down. It was actually kind of where the play ended up breaking, was in his lane. He had got tripped up and down on his back, but those are things that the Gladiators have to be able. That's why they went with the squib kick. They try to put it on the ground, give their kickoff team time to get down there and make a play and stay in their lane. Unfortunately, the athleticism on the other side of the ball was a little too great, and as they returned it for a touchdown.
Miles with the touchdown.
Here you go
return.
on replay.
Let's go to the
return. Personal foul, number 27 defense. The result of the play is a touchdown. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the first scrimmage play following the kickoff.
Penalty was on Miles, or excuse me, Vines, I believe. So they'll have that in the bank at the next play. Lacayo on for the extra point here.
And that's really unfortunate because that really could be a 14-point swing, because that personal foul penalty is a lot of yards as you start your drive.
Lacayo's kick is up and it is through. So the Rattlers strike again quickly on a kickoff return touchdown. As you take a look at one more time, Jamal Miles sees a lot of green and then sees the kicker, and he knows that's no problem.
Are you looking for a career with great benefits and wages? Your Carpenters Local Union 1319 is looking for tradesmen of all different skill levels and experience. Carpenters Local Union 1319, proud partners of your Duke City Gladiators.
For over 35 years, we have represented the families of those who no longer have a voice and the tragically injured who need to be heard. At the law firm of David C. Chavez, we are the voice and would be honored to represent you. We undertake some of the most challenging cases against multi-billion-dollar companies, which result in a fair resolution for our client. We have the experience and the resources to commit to your case.
Call the law firm of David C. Chavez, a recognized injury attorney, top 10, top 100, and super lawyer. 505-865-9696.
Back here at the event center. Rattlers starting to pull away here in this one.
You know, if you're the Gladiators, I know they talked about it in the TV timeout here, be prepared for the onside kick.
Yeah, we have not seen Lacayo attempt an onside kick today. Jackson slipped across the 10-yard line. That's where the drive will start.
The first down onto the Southwest Regional Council of Carpenters Union.
Again, another home game next week here at the event center against a Bay Area team. Brutal start. We mentioned the schedule. You know, Arizona twice, Frisco, who I think is a very, very good ball club.
Very good team, yes.
They might be there at the end, as a matter of fact. How did Frisco, in Dallas, get put into the Eastern Division?
Yeah,
I would like to know how that happened.
I think the guy scheduling it thought for some reason it was obviously in a different spot.
But the East might be a little weaker than the West. Who knows? But Frisco looks really good. Both sides of the ball.
Both sides.
Coach
yes.
Billy Back does such an amazing job over there. They turned over the roster there, and of course, our former Gladiator Cam Hilton's over there. 7:39 and counting to go here. Holbrook has to go a long way. He has to get rid of it, and it was almost picked. That would have been a sure pick six for Devontae Merriweather right at the goal line.
Yes, Merriweather was right in the right spot to make a big play there. The pocket kind of collapsed around Holbrook as the motion took a little bit longer to develop. They were trying to get the ball back underneath. It looked like to Stoneham. You'll see it here on the replay. The pocket just collapses. He gets the pressure from, guess who, Williams, number 23, is back in his face and forces a bad throw. It was almost a really bad throw But again, you talk about defense all night long. Trayvon Williams, number 23, he has been all over the place for them, especially putting pressure on Holbrook.
So bring up a second down. Holbrook has to get rid of it. He can't. He's brought down in the end zone. Big play there for Trevon Hill.
And that was Williams, I believe.
Let's take another look here. I beg your pardon, it was Williams. Wow, he's been everywhere, Coach, like you said.
Literally been everywhere. He has been in Caleb's face all night long. And looks like a safety. They might want to review that, but I thought he was in the end zone when he made initial contact, but they're saying that he was on the 1 yard line.
Well, yeah, Gladiators caught a break there.
They definitely caught a break there, but 3rd and 10 backed up on your own half-inch line is not where you want to be.
And Caleb has had to get rid of it so quickly. He's had no time back there to throw at all. He's now 9 of 28.
Well, when your defense is putting pressure on there, your
here
DBs
comes more
can play
pressure.
tighter.
It's up for grabs and batted out of the air there by Dylan Winfrey. So he was running down the field with Jared Elmore.
It's a great play of Winfrey getting his head around and knocking the ball down. Elmore had a step on his guy, but again, when you got pressure in your quarterback's face, it's hard for him to set his feet and put the ball where it needs to be. And that's kind of been the claim to fame for defense, for the Rattlers defense all night long.
Take a look at head coach Kevin Guy of the Arizona Rattlers. Of course, he has built quite a resume there in the desert, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. And you'll see, he's one of those guys that's been around the game for a while. His players
by rule, the offense is allowed to move the ball out to the 4 yard line on 4th down.
Again, another little wrinkle there for the IFL, or the Arena League football, but.
All right, long kick attempt here for Cody Barber. Back to return it is the very speedy and dangerous Jamal Miles. This one's going to go into the seats.
Now this rule, I don't know where they spot this ball at.
It's going to be where they deemed it to cross, I believe.
It looks like it, and it's probably going to be around the 20.
Still got 4:43 to go in this one. Yeah, I mean, we talked about Coach Guy earlier with what he's been able to build there. Of course, you know, the facilities, their wonderful owner, Ron Schertz. Let's go down
the kick went out of the field of play at the 20 yard line. 1st down, Arizona Rattlers at the 20 yard line.
I think they had just shy of 8,000 at the Footprint Center for their opener, so well supported. Rattlers fan base, it travels well.
Yeah, there's some Rattler fans sitting behind us and to our right. But when you have the history like the Rattlers have had, and you have the just the pedigree, that's what you expect from a program like that.
And then what Coach Guy has done not only for his team, but to grow the league, as that's complete to Houston. It's finally brought down by Serta across the 15-yard line. I mean, Coach Guy has been instrumental in growing this league as well.
Yeah, it's not just about Arizona for him. He knows.
And Arizona's success, of course, has led to 3 teams in Arizona.
Yeah,
the Tucson and Northern Arizona. I mean, if that doesn't happen unless Kevin's successful with the Rattlers.
And he wants the entire league to be successful, and that's a big part of what he tries to accomplish.
Powell, all day to throw. Still has the time. Complete up the middle on the reception for Braxton Haley.
That's a great little check down route to Haley. Haley is just, his job is to find open space between the linebacker and the defensive end. And again, it all starts up front. You know, Powell has had literally all night long to find the open receiver. And when your quarterback can stand back there safely and deliver the ball to the right guy, that really makes you very hard to defend.
And Coach Guy, I mean, he's had some painful playoff losses. And you can see how, I mean, the way he's built this team this year, back with a vengeance.
Definitely.
They came up just short against Massachusetts. This defense has just been something else.
It's been exciting to watch this defense tonight.
Flag on the play.
False start, number 62, offense, 5-yard penalty.
It's a false start. Down. It's on McMeans, the offensive lineman up front.
Moving a little bit early in his stance.
Let's go, make some noise.
You know, one of the other things we haven't talked a lot about tonight is Dent's ability to play both sides of the ball. He's actually done a pretty good job here on the defensive side of the ball.
Powell again has all day. Now here comes Cooper, gets him down. Serta came in to finish the play. Cooper was there first. Again, great job by Cooper. And he's undersized versus that big front, but he's been able to get his.
He is definitely. He is using his speed, and that's the 1-2 punch for the Gladiators, and it's been that way all night long. Cooper is not going to run over that offensive lineman, obviously, but when Powell runs to him, there's no way that Powell's going to outrun him on that outside edge. And Cooper comes, gets the pressure he needs, and tracks him down actually from the backside, and Serta cleans it up. But Cooper's speed has been really prolific tonight for the Gladiators.
They'll bring up a third down here. Two in motion on the right side of the formation. Powell looking. That one's up for grabs, and it was almost intercepted by Dexter Reese, as Reese got his hands on that one. And then it went flying towards Greg Dent, but it was Reese on the play here. Let's take another look here.
I thought that was for sure an interception. He stepped right in front of that route and just got knocked off there at the very last second. But man, that was an excellent play from the defender to Reese to come back in there, 26, and to break that play up. It should have been an interception, but that's a great play. The clock keeps moving, and this is what the Gladiators want here to try to close this game out.
And you know Reese would love that interception against his old team.
He's been in that uniform before, so he knows how it feels, and to be able to get one against his boys, it definitely is something that makes your night.
Lacayo going to get this kickoff before the warning, it looks like. He's ready. Haley puts down the hold. Lacayo's kick is through. Ernesto Lacayo adds the points here.
How much of a weapon is he?
Oh, he is some kind of kicker. 43-21, Arizona Rattlers as Lacayo bangs it through.
At Fogo de Chão, it all starts with fire. And then, out of the kitchen comes something that moves your mouth with tears of joy. And then, you discover what a masterpiece tastes like, filling it with childlike wonder. And then, your taste buds come of age on a 21-day aged ribeye. And then, just as you think it can't get any better, something on a salt block rocks your world. Welcome to What's Next.
All right, we're back at the Event Center, 1:03 to go, 43-21 as the Rattlers lead. The Rattlers will go to 3-0, Gladiators will fall to 0-3. Again, the Rattlers are on the road next week. They'll be at Las Vegas. That's a Friday night game. We'll be right back here, same place, same channel, against the team from the Bay. Jackson is back there. Gregory is the lead block, and again, Jackson went down at the 10 there. I don't know if he slipped that time or if he just went down.
I think he probably slipped a little
bit. That is a 1 minute warning.
Cut,
timeout on the field.
He didn't have the open lane he was looking for, but you know, Gregory's done a really great job of returning the ball back there tonight, and there's been some bright spots for the Gladiators. I feel like
this will take us to the 1 minute warning.
The Duke City Gladiators are brought to you in part by these proud partners. The Paletta Bar, Tramway, Sit Means Sit, Dog Training, Fogo de Chão, Brazilian Steakhouse, Roadrunner, Ready Mix, and JPR Gravel. Bubba's 33, Sadie's of New Mexico, Garcia's Kitchen, Nexus Brewery, Guild Mortgage, Roadrunner Realty and Investments, Dickey's Barbecue, and Fidelity Title. The Duke City Gladiators are brought to you in part by these proud partners.
At the
Vessel IV Bar, we're here to help you find your optimal state of wellness through on-demand IV drip hydration and micronutrition service.
Let's get to work. Let's get to work.
Roadrunner Realty and Investments is a proud partner of your Duke City Gladiators.
All right, we're back for the final minute here at the Event Center. 43-21 is the Rattlers' lead here. Don't forget, IFL action continues, of course, tomorrow. So you can check out the IFL's YouTube channel. Holbrook going to uncork a wobbler here, and it is picked off. It's an interception for Kyrie Woods.
Well, I think we've called his name once or twice tonight, especially in the pass game. He's done a great job of breaking passes up, and that time he put himself in a position to get a big interception here with the last and final minute here to close the chapter on this second game against the Rattlers.
I don't know, Coach, between Woods, as you take a look at this acrobatic interception, between Woods and Williams, they've just shut down everything the offense has tried to do.
I mean, Williams is just such a prolific run stopper and just putting pressure on any quarterback, it seems like. And then Woods back there with his ability to make breaks on the ball and knock the ball down at the right time is just, they're going to be a hard out for anybody they face all season long. And
you got Williams bringing the pressure. You have a dominant player on the front, and then you have a dominant player in the back there with Woods.
They are loaded, and a new quarterback in here.
Demery Croft will take over. He played the entire second half last week, of course. He came over from the Tucson Sugar Skulls, and that's out of the hands of Todd Athey. And then Athey took a late shot there.
Got away with a penalty there, probably, but you know, Athey had one big catch tonight.
Croft, of course, he started every game last year for Dixie Wooten over there in Tucson.
Yeah, he's no rookie out there. He knows exactly what it's like to be out here and to be in this situation. And man, what a great asset to have your backup quarterback with that type of experience.
Yeah, Coach Guy has a lot of depth here, especially when, of course, Spokane did have a season this year. And so that made some more players available, and this is a very deep Rattlers team. Croft with the give up the middle.
Calvin Phillips, we haven't called his name a lot tonight, but he's a big running back. Very physical, strong young man who likes to run with his shoulders down. They've got so many other weapons they've used tonight, they didn't have to really lean on him.
Croft again will give it here on the ground. Some room. And he was finally upended at midfield there by Greg Dent. But another big run by Phillips. And remember, they still have first team all IFL Gerard Harrington on IR. So once he gets back into the fold for the Rattlers, they're going to get even stronger.
They're going to get even stronger. And
you know, they lose a guy like Diavanzo to the CFL. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't seem to affect them.
No, it's definitely next man up in their situation.
Phillips again on the carry. This time he's brought down by Dexter Reese.
And that'll do it.
But I'll tell you what.
That is the end of the game.
0. It's final. It's the Rattlers 43 and the Gladiators 21. Despite the loss here, though, Coach, Gladiators still have to feel a little better this week than the taste they had in their mouth after last week.
There's no doubt. I felt like there was a lot of situations and a lot of individual players who stepped up and made really big plays that gave their teams an opportunity to be successful. But it was the big plays that they just couldn't stop.
Yeah.
That just kept the Rattlers rolling. You know, when the Gladiators would do something great, it would be a quick strike by the Rattlers or the interception, the pick six.
We'll take a quick timeout. We'll see if we can catch up with Kevin Guy and the player of the game.
If you have suffered tragic injury from an automobile which failed to meet safety standards, such as roof failure, door failure, or seatbelt failure, we can have the vehicle immediately inspected by our experts to determine a system failure. The vehicle must be preserved for inspection. Call the law firm of David C. Chavez now at 505-865-9696. We don't just consider who caused the injury, we look to see what the cause of the injury was.
Tired of big box stores that have nothing in stock? Shop local. Appliance Liquidators has truckloads of fridges, freezers, laundry appliances, and more showing up every day. Why shop for low prices when you can get bare bones prices every day at Appliance Liquidators? Save up to 40% off retail on home appliances from brands like GE, Frigidaire, Whirlpool, and more. Come for the huge inventory. Stay for the bare bone prices. Shop local for serious savings. Only at Appliance Liquidators.
Maria Ramirez?
Hi. Maria Ramirez.
Maria Ramirez.
McDonald's is committing $150 million in tuition assistance, education, and career advising programs
Maria Ramirez.
to help more employees achieve their dreams.
All right, we're back here. We'll get Kevin Guy's thoughts in just a moment. Player of the game, Trayvon Williams. Defensively, you guys were able to stop pretty much whatever Duke City wanted to do tonight. Talk about that.
This just comes from practice and preparation. You know, we go in every day. Coach calls the plays, and we try to execute to the best of our abilities. And I think it paid off tonight.
You in the front, Kyrie in the back, a dominant player at each level tonight. You guys were causing some havoc. Talk about Kyrie.
Oh, all together as a defensive group, we're great. But Kyrie, you know, he's really stand out. Put the pressure on him, he stood up to it.
All right, go celebrate with the guys. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Coach, we'll get you in here. Talk about that defense. Like kind of what I asked him there. You know, you had that dominant presence at the front. You had a dominant presence at the back because we were really able to disrupt everything Caleb Holbrook wanted to do tonight.
Well, that's our philosophy. We want to pressure up front, pressure in the back, and you know our defense has been playing well this year. Offensively, we were a little sloppy tonight. You know, we'll get it cleaned up. We just got a lot of miscues up front, reads, routes, you know, everything, play calling, so everybody's involved. We got to get it fixed.
With that being said, though, Drew was very efficient in the passing game tonight. I think he only had 2 incomplete passes. He's playing that position at such a high level right now.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. We just got to do a better job as offense, man. We're not clicking. You know, we're used to scoring 60 points a game, and we're just kind of hovering around that 50 mark, and you know, we're leaving a couple of series a game, you know, on the field. So we just got to get the little things cleaned up.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Yeah, thanks.
Rattlers victorious tonight over the Gladiators. The Gladiators fall to 0-3. The Rattlers are 3-0. Again, right back here next week. I want to thank the entire ProView Networks team. For Brandon Back, Sebastian Noel saying good night.
Quitting nicotine is hard. Now you can quit your way, free.